Yo, what's up? El host already here. Welcome everybody. Um, I'm new around, so I'm sorry if I messed up all this. I've been getting El host since 10 minutes and I didn't even go live, so let's get it.
The chat gonna love you 1 minute, then they're gonna hate you the next. So it's the way. It's the way.
So, well, I was waiting for my boy Gifted to bring in some, some.
Gifted just hit me up
Oh,
actually.
uh,
Yeah, he said he's coming right now. He lost his phone. Yeah.
okay. So
Oh,
he had to come.
he's a film breakdown guy.
Gifted.
And
Yeah.
Well, he talks about like a lot of stuff, just like NBA analysis.
Okay.
you know him already, Shiloh? Yeah.
Me no. I don't know.
Oh, you didn't meet him in the panel or something like that? You were never together.
Uh-uh. Or if I did,
Okay.
I don't remember his name. No.
All I remember both of y'all being on together.
Yeah, I don't think he was on spend time.
I wanted him to break down like yesterday's USA game, like the national team one, but that was such a big cooking
It's
out there that
a
it's
lot to
like doesn't
deliver.
even make sense. Like
Yeah.
I expected it to be like tighter, like I don't know, Luca something, show up, whatever. And I was watching the game like we have the show tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not so
Um,
Slovenia is just Luca only really. Like there's no competition with them. Who's Team USA's biggest competition? Y'all would say like is it still Spain? Would you still say it's Spain at this
Like
point?
France,
Spain,
France is
Canada.
up
France?
there as
Yeah,
well.
France.
They faced
I
France in
think
the
Spain is
finals
a
last
good
time,
team.
right?
Yeah. I think was it
Spain.
France?
It was, yeah.
Was yeah.
Mhm.
I believe so.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't
Other than
even know
that,
what's the differences between like European basketball and NBA. Like there's a lot of small
it's a
differences
few.
in the game, but I don't really know them.
I know. One of them isn't like the 3 point line is a little shorter.
Also, you can camp the paint. Like a big
Can't the
can camp
paint.
the
Yeah,
paint.
it's no
And you
use
can
like
you can you can play the rim. Like if the ball's rolling on the rim right there, you can go take it off. It's
yeah.
not it's not goaltending.
It's not go to
That's
the yeah.
that's why France was so good against USA because Gobert
That's
was
that
just
Rudy.
standing in the paint the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So there's a few there's slight difference. That's slight differences. There's a few differences, but the differences that there are there is a big difference because having a big man to stand in the paint all day that just changes the game a lot.
Changes a lot completely.
Facts.
I remember one time Luca was talking about it on the JJ Redick podcast on how it was easier to score in NBA than overseas, and like, that's one of the reasons why one of the things he said that he would while playing on top of the key he will see like if the big man is in the paint and he'll wait for him, he'll time it for when he has to step out and then attack then. So someone as small as that makes a big difference between overseas and playing in the NBA.
I mean, yeah, we're not living in the '60s no more. We can't be doing camp in the paint. Nah, that ain't it, man.
Okay. Well, I didn't know the differences. I just know like there's a big difference always like there's so many points on NBA and then when you go to see a EuroLeague game, like you never reach that high scores. Like super difficult to see
And,
it.
and,
Like,
and European teams they play more team ball to me. They're more pass.
Yeah, it's not an individual game the way it is in
Yeah.
America.
Like in the NBA, you see like a 25-point score, a 30-point. You know what I mean? Like in overseas is more evenly dished out point the scoring wise and stuff. So definitely more of a team game overseas.
I
Sure.
mean, they play
You
a
guys,
lot more defense, right?
yeah, that's I play harder on defense than they do in the NBA for sure.
And not only that, it's more spaced out. Like the floor is more spaced. You got fives like centers that could shoot.
Yeah.
Over there, you don't really got that,
Yeah.
because it's the more traditional fundamental setting.
And even with the 3 point line being smaller, I feel like it kind of tightens up the court too at the same time.
And the NBA just has better players, to be honest.
I mean, yeah, that I don't want to say that, but yeah,
I mean, it's the truth.
That's
I'm
the-
gonna be
that's the-
honest with
yeah.
you. Like Team USA shouldn't be losing to anybody. That's how I look at it, bro. They
yeah.
shouldn't.
That's what I was saying. Like the only competition should be what Spain and France, and even though
Yeah.
even that, I
I
feel
mean,
like
I mean,
there's been other
but
teams
Canada
that
is there too, right? You have Canada. Canada has a good team.
Canada has some good
yeah,
players.
yeah, they are pretty decent.
It looks like that. We
No,
should
it's not
blast them
decent.
too.
It's a good team. It's not decent. It's a good team.
I mean, compared to USA, I feel like it's
No,
decent.
Team USA should still win. They
Yeah,
should still win. But I will say, I think Australia gave him problems a couple of years because Patty Mills was like,
going off,
crazy.
right?
Yeah,
And
Patty
Katie had to
Mills
save the
going crazy.
day. Katie had to save it. Katie didn't do what he did. Yeah.
Everybody was saying Team USA last year, or was it last year? Yeah, last year or 2 years ago was going to be so bad. No, they thought they were going to be bad because they lost to Nigeria the first game.
Yeah.
And then they won the whole thing. They
Yeah.
dominated the rest of the way. So, like,
but even the games they won, you know what it is? Because we're so used to Team USA. Anything with Team USA on it dominates. 30-point game, like 30-point blowouts, 20-point blowouts. So anything that's a little bit close, oh, this team sucks. Now, like, this isn't the Team USA. I know. That's what it is, really. That's really what it is.
Yo, what's up, my brother?
Last year's team, I didn't like too much.
Gifted is up. Did you find your phone? You're muted.
Yo, we can't hear you, brother. Are you talking to us?
Yes. Yes, bro. I could not find my phone to save my life.
Was it in between the couch?
Bro, it was like sorry. It was underneath my bed. I searched everywhere. It was bad.
I thought you was letting me down. I was like, yo, Gifted.
No, man.
It's to me.
It's like I couldn't. So like before this, right? I didn't have this app downloaded on my PC, so I like needed my phone for everything. But now I have it downloaded on my PC, so this shouldn't happen again. But how's everybody doing today?
Good. Chilling. We good.
I'm actually pretty mad at Gifted right now because Gifted
Yes,
cheated.
Cheated.
Gifted cheated. Yeah, you did. You cheated. But
Cheated in what?
cheated yesterday. We had a debate yesterday on B-Soul's. It was like, who's the casual? He did it again, and Gifted just talked over me the whole time. He cheated the whole time. He talked over me, and it's crazy because when he was talking over me, I checked the polls. I was scared. I was like, man, I saw it was like 70-30, 70% Gifted, 30% me.
Guys, he
Oh,
cheated.
Then I had my last point. I saved it. I made it 52-48. If he had let me talk like a normal debate, I would have creamed this dude. I would have torched this man.
Wait, hold on. What was the topic though? What was the topic?
Jimmy Butler versus Jason Tatum.
Wait, what was it?
Jimmy Butler versus Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
And who's on whose side?
I was on Tatum's side. He was on Jimmy Butler.
I was on Butler.
I see.
Butler for life.
I'm gonna gift it then. He should have.
Y'all gotta stop supporting this Saquon Barkley player, bro. Come on,
man.
This guy gets running back buckets, and y'all side.
All I know,
back buckets is crazy.
All I know is that when I sat there and I had to make my argument, I hopped in my bag. I talked about Tatum's performance in the finals. I talked about Jimmy Butler versus the Lakers, their efficiencies as play. You know, like. I think Omo made some really good points. I think he did, but I edged him out and I won. Sadly,
he cheated. He cheated.
He just salty. That's what it is. He just salty. Lost.
Yeah.
Shiloh, bro, I'm telling you, bro. Cool. I'm so serious.
It's cool.
He cheated, bro. I'm telling you. On my life, he cheated. I'm telling you.
No, his life is crazy.
My life,
you're gonna die, sir. You're gonna get packed up.
Oh man.
So Shiloh, Gifted, do you have something about yesterday's game? Because I was like, let's prepare something cool about that, but like that game was.
No, I actually had a lot of fun watching it. So I had the game live. I didn't get a chance to watch it while I was at work, but as soon as I got done with our debate last night, I sat down and watched it. And I gotta say, like, I saw some good things from Team USA. Again, Jaren Jackson Jr.'s defense just continues to be the biggest X factor for that team. But the way Jalen Brunson dictated pace stood out to me the most. I mean, he had so many paint touches. He had so many plays where he would drive to the paint, he would kick to the hash, and the hash would pass down to the corner. They're understanding that their identity should be use your athleticism, pair that with skill. And on top of that, the lineups where they had Paolo at the 5 were very productive as well. I had a lot of fun watching that game back, honestly.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. The Jalen Brunson part, his pace to me is so like not underrated, but that's a bad word. But no one rushes him. He plays at a perfect NBA pace, and I love watching him play. That one like in and out move he had, he hit the corners to Austin Reeves. That was dirty. But yeah, like Brunson to me is controlling the pace perfectly. And like you said with Jaren Jackson, he's probably the best player because on defense there's nothing going on. He can just stay in the paint and there's nothing going on in the paint. No one's going in the paint challenge Jaren Jackson. So I definitely agree. But besides those 2 points, to me it was still a snooze fest. It was just Luka not playing got me so pissed, man. I was like, come on, that's the one thing that got me excited to watch the game. But
we needed that. Yeah.
Yeah, no Luka.
I'm looking for some competition at this point. I'm looking for some competition.
No Luka is extremely disappointing when you're watching that.
Yeah,
So.
But why didn't he play? Like, is he injured? Because there's like a lot of like big ones NBA that supposed to play with the selection team and they're not playing. Like Antetokounmpo, Giannis.
Yeah, but Giannis has no reason to play, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he shouldn't play. No,
he shouldn't play.
This is in the Olympics.
Why?
He needs to go focus on making some free throws. That's what he needs to go do. Not play.
Why? So you wouldn't play in this? I think this is important to play for your country.
I mean, but he's done it a lot.
He's
done it a lot.
And I feel like with big stars like him, Luka's a big star too, but I feel like they usually want the Olympics. That's the big dog, the Olympics. The FIBA games is like when the young guys go over and play and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I feel like Giannis probably feels like if it isn't the Olympics, he's not going to waste his body. Not waste his body, but chance getting injured playing for the FIBA games over the Olympics.
Wait, I want to know. Is it that Trae didn't? Is it that Trae didn't get invited or he didn't qualify or something? Why is Trae Young not on the team? I'm confused about that.
He didn't get invited.
No, nobody got time to watch.
Because
so Dylan Brooks
gotta play defense. That's what it is. You gotta play defense on Team USA.
So Dylan Brooks makes the team, but not Trae Young.
Dylan Brooks is from Canada, though. It's a different team.
That's true. He is in Canada. Still, that's so nasty.
What's Trae Young about it?
What's the problem with Dylan Brooks?
Dylan Brooks sucks, man. He's trash.
But if he was invited, would it have been announced? Was that even was that announced? Like, who's invited? Who declined?
I mean, I don't know if they announced who's invited, but like I know Trae Young's not there. I think Trae Young wanted to be there.
He said that?
Yes, he did want to be there.
He wanted to be there.
Oh, that's okay.
That's disrespectful, bro.
That's telling. That's very telling.
That's disrespectful, man.
If they were gonna have another young point guard come, it wouldn't be Dylan Brooks anyway.
No.
I'm sorry. It wouldn't be Trae Young anyway.
Who would it be though?
It would be De'Aaron Fox.
I knew he was gonna say De'Aaron Fox. Alex, okay, Alex.
De'Aaron Fox is becoming one of the most overrated players in the league. I'm so serious.
Is he?
Yeah. Yes, dude.
My guy, don't do that to my.
Have you been seeing the stuff people are saying about De'Aaron Fox?
I know.
There are people saying
everything they're saying is true.
I've been seeing people put him as high as like top 15 in the league. Like that's ridiculous.
We didn't see his production, his value last year. The things he does, the way he changes basketball games. We didn't see that.
I mean, we saw it, but there's over 15 players that do that too.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not mad at that. I mean, top 15 either way.
Even people saying he's better than Trae, like
that's what I was going to ask. So, you think Fox is better than Trae?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
All right, look, I said this yesterday, bro. Like I feel like Trae Young is getting soured on to the point where he's starting to become underrated.
I know, and I don't like Trae Young. That's the thing about it. Like,
I'm not even a fan.
I'm not that big of a fan of Trae Young, but now I gotta defend Trae Young is crazy because I think he is getting underrated now.
The reason I saw what they did versus Boston without his second best player, and they still won that game. Like,
it's not even just that, bro.
The reason I don't like Trae Young is because of the way he plays basketball, though, bro. It's not like I just don't like him.
But I don't like Trae Young either.
He one of those players, like, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I don't like about him is this game. You know what I mean?
That's like
he
a
one of those
personal.
players, like, he can't.
But that's a personal thing, though. When you
it's
watch
it's basketball. The way he can shoot. He's one of those players, like, he has the ability to shoot you in a game. Very, very, very. He does have that ability, but that same ability will shoot you out of a game just as often. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Trae Young try to play too much hero ball. He's easy to, and the thing about it is, I'm not gonna say easy because that's disrespectful. He's definitely not easy to scheme against, but he can get boxed in though. Like I've seen Miami. I've seen the Miami Heat do it to him. I've seen a couple times where Trae just gets boxed in and they just let him, like, okay, well, let Trae shoot. You know what I'm saying? Not let him shoot, but it's like if Trae's shooting, then we good. You know, if he's shooting difficult shots. He's doing like you can't do that to De'Aaron. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't bully De'Aaron.
I can't let you slide there, Ox. I can't let you slide there. For one, like De'Aaron Fox was fortunate to play on a team that in the regular season he arguably wasn't even the best player on the team. You could argue it was Sabonis.
That's fine. I made the argument.
Like I think Fox is the better player, but this past season, the regular season, you could argue Sabonis was the better player.
I will argue that too.
You bringing up Miami with Trae Young. Trae Young, who was the second? That was before they even got DeJounte. Who was the second best player? Bogdanovich, Gallinari. Like who are we talking? Capella, John Collins. Trae Young goes out there with mediocre offensive players and leads them to like the best offenses in the league. That's what Trae Young does.
Yes, Shiloh. What was wrong with John Collins?
John Collins, especially that year.
Not good last year.
He's mid.
He's not a secondary scorer on the team.
That's what I'm saying. When they made that run in the playoffs, Trae Young was definitely a John Collins merchant.
Whoa! Nah.
What? That is so disrespectful.
100%.
There's no way you can say Trae Young was a John Collins merchant.
That's crazy. De'Aaron Fox is more of a Sabonis merchant than Trae Young is.
And not only was he a John Collins merchant, but he was a Kevin Huerter merchant as well.
You're tweaking on that. No. I'm not saying Fox is a Sabonis merchant, but if you're gonna say Trae is a John Collins merchant,
then Fox is definitely.
I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that.
Bro, don't mess the energy. Not mess the energy, y'all.
You shouldn't
be mess the energy.
Yeah, but I'm saying don't be.
You're lying. I can see you smiling right now. You're not saying with that.
I'm saying don't be spiteful, bro. Don't just say shit just because I said something.
No. Facts. Y'all are being spiteful because you're trying to match his energy. Let's be real about this, right? Fox is not a Sabonis merchant.
No, he's not.
We know that. We know that. We're saying if Trae Young is a John Collins merchant.
Oh no, he's wrong. I'm just saying, don't even match the energy. I'm saying don't
go to his level. You're saying don't go.
If he goes low, we go
low. Because they're saying that Sabonis is a glorified role player. Like you have the two parts that that Sabonis is a glorified role player, but also that he's overrated. So I don't get the point.
I do think Sabonis is slightly overrated, but a glorified role player. No.
I don't think I could say overrated because people were on him. They were on him.
They were on him bad.
After the playoffs, they were on him.
I kind of want to give Sabonis credit because he played during his entire season hurt, and he was still producing at a super high level. He was the best rebounder in the NBA. I just think the team he played against understood how to really expose his flaws and areas in his game that he needs to get better at. Maintain like a consistent 16-foot shot, I think would pay big, things for him. So that's really. I don't think he's overrated.
I don't know about that, Gifted, because my thing was Sabonis, and I've said this. I said this when they when they traded for Sabonis. I said I don't think that Sabonis will ever be a legitimate contributor to a championship team, and it's because his flaws on both sides. Sabonis defensively is not good. He's actually strong in the post. He can kind of hold his own. But outside of that, he's not good on the perimeter, not good in the pick and roll, slow-footed, can't really get in passing lanes. He doesn't have anticipation there because, even look at Jokic. He's slow-footed, but he can get his hands in passing lanes. He has anticipation there. Sabonis is not like that. Sabonis, the real value he brings defensively is just rebounding. And then offensively, if we're being serious, he's limited. He does not have a bag. He's a good roll big. He's a good passer, can do DHOs, good screener, all of that. But he doesn't have real verticality to his game. He doesn't have scoring counters. Other than ramming his shoulder in that post hook, he has no other scoring counters to his game. That's why the Warriors were such a bad matchup. And you can say, hey, it's just a bad matchup. But then you got the Lakers. Then you got the Timberwolves. You got other teams that are stacking. The West is loaded. The Nuggets as well. The West is loaded with players. And he's going to get exploited no matter what. The regular season, he's going to be great. But come playoff time, he's just not. I don't want to say not a winning player, but it's tough to win with that. It really is.
That was a Mike Brown problem. That was a Mike Brown problem. Yeah, but in the playoffs, I was 100% a Mike Brown problem. The adjustments were made on the offensive end. If we're going to keep trying to force that same offensive set over and over, when Steve Kerr is obviously game planning against it, it's obvious that instead of running the same offense we run where we're attacking with Sabonis from the top of the key, trying to do those dribble handoffs and whatnot, they're just going to let Sabonis do what he wants to do up there and back off of him. So I personally think Mike Brown should start bringing DeMarcus off the baseline, setting down screens for shooters, posting up lower on the block. So that way, like you said, when all he got really is that jump hook, which he actually does have more moves. I've seen him even back when he was at OKC in Indiana. He has post moves. That's why I was very disappointed in him in the playoffs. I think it just happened too fast. I think they got schemed against, and he was just
he can't go to his right. He can't.
But that's what I'm saying though. He can. That was just one of those things. I think he was just mentally cooked on the offensive end, and that's no excuse. He folded for sure.
Yeah, but he got outplayed by Kevon Looney.
Well, but
not too much for Kevon Looney though.
Kevon Looney showed in the playoffs before that he's more than serviceable on that defense. He's like even against the Mavericks in the what was the Western Conference Finals?
Yeah.
Even the series before that, Kevon Looney showed like he can compete with the best of them on the it's just not so pretty. So, but I think Kevon Looney is a really good big. And I was saying that before what he did to DeMarcus in the playoffs.
That's a fact.
I kind of feel like with the Sabonis thing, bro, it like I understand your points, Omo, but again, like what I'm speaking to is there are many times where they would play off of him and they were allowing him to take the mid-range shot. And my thing is mentally, Sabonis seeing that type of coverage didn't know how to exploit it because at times he wasn't sure if he wanted to shoot or pass or post up. He would just waste time. My point is if he was able to develop a consistent mid-range shot at that level and they're giving him that shot, but he's able to knock it down, the way that bends that defense improves dramatically because Fox and Sabonis for the entire year were a potent two-man game every single time where they would get the Sabonis switch. He would be able to eat that up. And then if they double teamed or whatever, he would pass off of that bend defense. In the playoffs, it was less of that because they simply said, we're going to allow every Sabonis play. Go ahead, Sabonis, kill us. And Sabonis wasn't equipped to really exploit that. I think adding in those scoring counters from the mid-range area would make him a more damaging guy overall and potentially more valuable in the playoffs.
Right, but
I agree with that. That's why I said like.
Go ahead, Sean. You got it.
No, I'm saying like, that's why I feel like it wasn't a Mike Brown issue because I feel like everything else was going fine for them. How they played in the regular season was transferring to the playoffs. Like, that's why it went 7 to me. Sabonis, if he just give you a little bit more production, I feel like that would have been enough they needed to beat the Warriors. I feel like Sabonis didn't show up at all.
But
Brown, I feel like did a good job.
This what I'm saying though, Salah. That was like I don't feel like we played good. I just think we were that much better than the Warriors that we were able to stay in the series. Because we played 2 good games in that series, bro. And then on top of that, like this is why I say it's a Mike Brown issue because it's like if we're gonna keep spamming the same offense. Obviously, like, and this is the thing all season because it was people used to be like, man, Sabonis got to start shooting that top of the key 3 more, and he wasn't shooting that many of them. He got to start shooting that. That's just not the game that we want to run. We're just trying to spam that dribble handoff, run that same offense, and it's like I don't like the idea of turning into Sabonis. Every time you get that open jump shot, just shoot it. I don't like that idea. I just feel like we just had a wrong offensive set. We could have made some adjustments that just took him off of the top of the key. You know what I'm saying?
Don't you think also some that because I mean we could talk about the offensive adjustments they can make, but there's a lot of things that are wrong with their personnel defensively as well. Because it's not even just the Sabonis thing. Keegan Murray defensively, he's not where he needs to be. You know,
Keegan stepped up defensively. He's getting better.
I don't think Keegan was a good defender for them most of the year.
No.
And then another thing also offensively that people just forget about this here is Harrison Barnes was a double agent again. This guy was horrible. Just horrible that series. If he just makes it's crazy because it's just like the Warriors series, like when they lost in the finals. If he just makes a couple shots, they win. Just like the Kings series. If he just makes 4 or 5 shots in a couple of those games, they win. It's insane. Harrison Barnes, I don't know what's up with him. Like, I don't know what it is because he be missing open shots. So I don't really know. There has to be a mental thing.
It's the nerves, man. Yeah,
it has to be. And De'Aaron Fox also the injury. What was it? What was the injury? Was it a broken finger or something like that?
Yeah, that shit was no big deal. He don't get no pass. He don't get no pass for that.
I mean, he played worse after that. He played worse.
I mean, that shit
got locked up.
He need to do better than that.
Yeah. I mean, I love D Fox.
They saying around here that Draymond is what Sabonis needs to be. I really like Draymond Green.
Boo.
Draymond.
You know, the thing that I find on USA selection team is that you never know who's gonna play there. Like you don't always have the same players. Like Spain goes for a team and they go for a team. Like they're a team and they stick with that team. And you probably have a new team for next time you need a selection team. Like maybe Michael Bridges is not gonna be there, or maybe they're gonna invite Trae Young and there's this other one that's not gonna be there. Like that's the thing. And that happens a lot in NBA. Like you never know who's going to be on the team next year. Like there's a couple teams that are always the same guys in the team, like the Warriors or maybe Miami. But there's other teams like, dude, wasn't he on the Houston Rockets last year? Or maybe you get traded like in the middle of the season. That's like Pat Beverly getting like traded mid August, like not August because they're in the league, but like mid April. Like it's so
I feel like the Team USA thing because there's so much talent in the NBA that if somebody says no, we could find a replacement just like that. To whereas other countries,
like Paolo, like Banchero, how you ever say his name, like he was so like, yo, no, my roots, Italy, blah 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 blah, and now he's on the USA team. I was like,
because he wants to win.
Play for Italy, yeah, but why do you even say it? Don't say it. If you're not gonna have a word, just don't say it.
I was so pissed. He wants to win.
I was so pissed. Like, why is Banchero playing for USA? He was talking about spaghetti eating and Italy and stuff, and now you're playing for USA. That was wild.
Yeah.
Ox, wake up! They say on the chat.
What am I supposed to do? I was just talking.
What's your intervene every minute?
You also the Hall of Fame yesterday. Was it yesterday?
D-Wade, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to D-Wade.
I'm so happy for D-Wade, man.
Everybody was there for Wade. Like they were asking, and it was, "Why are you here, Wade? Why are you here, Wade? Why are you here, Wade?" I was like, "Yo, show some love for the other ones."
It's D-Wade players.
I'm not gonna lie. If I was a great NBA player, I would for real hold off on retirement until like there's nobody's retiring that year. Like if I retire, it's kind of like I don't know how many y'all keep up with like football. Like when Tom Brady retired, if I was JJ Watt, I'd be so mad because I'm like,
because when he's eligible, it's gonna be all on Tom Brady.
He's gonna be all Tom Brady. Like nobody's gonna care about me. And JJ Watt was a great player, so it's like I would wait. I would have literally said, I'm gonna hold off from retirement until next year. And then if Aaron Rodgers retire, I'm gonna hold off to the next year. I'm just gonna keep holding off.
I don't know, JJ. I think JJ could retire with Aaron Rodgers.
Maybe. Actually, that's true. But Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure they're gonna roll out the red carpet for Aaron Rodgers more than anybody else, though.
For sure.
But it's funny you said that because Dirk was there.
Yeah, Brady, you got no shot though. Brady, you have no shot.
Dirk being there, Dirk got, to me, Dirk's the better player. The better player got no love.
I don't know about that one. Dirk's not.
I was just about to ask that. Who's better?
Dirk to me is better. It's not like an outrageous. You say D-Wade, to me, Dirk is better. But I was gonna ask that because you guys saw the Snapchat thing they were doing, like who's the better scorer. Like Dirk was being too humble for me. Dirk was being way too humble for me. I'm like, Dirk, come on. I think Dirk, you're a better scorer than D-Wade, bro. You know.
I agree. The scoring, I could see
I give it to Dirk.
I can see scoring.
To me, but even if you say D-Wade is a better player, the point is that how close they are. The fact that Dirk got no coverage like that is crazy. I keep forgetting that Dirk was even in the ceremony. Because I see so much D-Wade stuff. I see more Pau Gasol.
I think it's because Dirk is just more quiet. He's a very reserved player.
Laid back.
Yeah, he's not somebody that. He's not, no disrespect, but he's not interesting. You know, he's just kind of, his game is cool. But like him as a person, he just seems very
laid back,
cool guy, chill, laid back kind of guy.
Yeah,
Dwayne Wade is popular, like he's with Gabrielle Union. You said Pau Gasol. Pau Gasol got the Lakers rub with Kobe. It's a different thing.
Yeah. Now, yes, that is true. D-Wade made it the show too with everyone's talking about the suit he wore with the sleeveless arms thing. Had his father come up. It was more.
Not gonna lie, when he was bringing his father up, like, yo, pops, I know your knees are sore, and I saw that man, and he looked young and super fresh. Like I'm jumping in this, like on the stage, like whatever, like. And he was like, yo, yeah, we made it here. I was like, okay.
Yeah. D-Wade definitely made it more of a show. So
y'all think?
I hear that, but to me, like Dirk to me is like
very nice.
He's like the embodiment of like go get a bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like tough shot making. Like that didn't get enough love, but I understand Wade is Wade, so I do get it. But man, Dirk was
Wade's
also
more
right
flashy,
there.
for sure.
Yeah.
Do y'all think that Dirk? Do y'all think that Dirk like gets overrated as a player because of that 2011 ring?
Yes. You mean
I don't think they talk about Dirk at all, though. So like, I wouldn't say
they do. And
I wouldn't say overrated like
they
that.
Talk about is the 2011 finals all they ever talk about.
There's because that was one of the best runs to a title ever, right?
But I just feel like that championship is more like, and it's not his fault. But I feel like that championship is more remembered as LeBron's failure than Dirk's like success. And if it is remembered
that's because people bronzexuals. He was supposed to win. So if he was supposed to win, he would have won. I
don't see that much because I do see people give Dirk love a lot. People do big up Dirk a lot more than just LeBron's failures. But I feel like LeBron being the one to lose does boost up Dirk's that championship run because it's LeBron.
Not just LeBron, because they count all the people he beat. He beat Kobe, Powell, KD,
James Harden, even though he wasn't
James Harden.
They love I hate when they bring up the James Harden thing. Westbrook, I get because Westbrook was good that year. But James Harden was a six man. He was probably one of the best six men.
Even Westbrook wasn't even at his peak.
Yeah, like even that he wasn't. But I understand if you bring a Westbrook.
I'll let you say Westbrook though. If
saying he beat like 2 big threes. No, he did not. Come on now. Let's stop.
He wasn't even six man of the year at that time.
That year, no, exactly. No, it was the next.
I just feel like what gets lost is like Dirk's performance in that finals and like how he played for that entire playoff run. To me, doesn't get as much love because anytime 2011 is brought up, it focuses more on what LeBron James didn't do. And I get it, right? Because obviously, like Bron should have as like a top 3 player ever.
He should have won that series.
Right? No. Would have won that series. I get that, but the point is he didn't. So highlighting the other team and how good the other team was to me matters.
Tyson's in the back clear.
Right, but it doesn't happen like that, right? Because LeBron is more popular, and that Heat team was a much more hated basketball team, right? So that doesn't really get the proper love it deserves, in my opinion.
I will say also another thing about Dirk. I'm gonna be real. If social media and like debate shows and stuff
was around then,
yes. 2006 was one thing because people forget he choked in the finals in 06.
He would have got murdered for 06, yeah.
And then imagine if he follows that up, losing in the first round to the Warriors, the 8th seed. I promise you, like, people would never let that go. I really do think people would look at Dirk a lot different. It would be like if, like Giannis, almost. Like, granted, Giannis made up for it. He did. But, like, he lost to the Raptors, then lost to the Heat, and then won a championship. So his came like a year after those two. Dirk, it was like that was like a 4-year gap in between. You know, who knows? Maybe Dirk crumbles under that pressure of social media and goes to jump ship to another team. You know, so many things could be different if we had a social media debate shows back then when Dirk was losing. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Right? Dirk still won an MVP, right?
Yeah, he won in 07. That's the reason he won in 07. He won the MVP 07, and he lost got
swept. And that him winning MVP that year and getting swept would have made it worse on debate shows. This is the MVP. This is you guys.
No, he didn't get swept. They lost in 6. Still, that's unacceptable.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so crazy. To me, no one even brings up those years though. Like the 2000s Dirk, nobody even talks about 2000s Dirk, which is his best years. Like his ranking, where everyone ranks him now, is solely off for 2011. That's why I feel like it's overrated. Because no one brings up Dirk.
I don't think it's solely off of 11 though. I don't necessarily.
I don't hear no one talk about before that. No one talks.
I don't hear anyone talk about Dirk like that. Period. Though I don't really hear people really even.
And when that's true, but when they do,
when you hear it,
usually what they bring up.
That's because Dirk gets discredited.
Bring up their highest. Yeah, they don't talk about Dirk.
They talk about
overrated though.
Well, all the other seasons when you try to talk about Dirk, people say, "Oh, well, he got beat in the first round. He choked in this." And it's like
I don't even hear that.
Why do we have to? Why do we?
But that's my thing, though. People don't bring that up.
I mean, I'm talking about the people that do. The people that are willing to have the Dirk conversation, they always discredit every year because he didn't win the championship. So it's like, okay, if we can only talk about the years when, if we can only respect the years when somebody wins a championship, then okay, we'll talk about his incredible finals run, one of the best playoff performances I've ever seen was Dirk taking that team to the championship and winning. I don't care if people try to say LeBron choked or not. But, you know what I'm saying? That's a LeBron problem. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Dirk, that was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in basketball. So if we can only talk about when he wins, then shit, that's a good year to talk about. But I think Dirk was just as good, and he was even better years before 2011. But if we, but y'all know how the basketball community is. If he didn't win, if he didn't win a ring that year, then it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's sad that we only remember and also with the new people, they will remember Giannis because he won this championship, but they won't remember the bad, all the bad, other maybe finals that he went through or stuff like that. That's
yeah.
I was watching the HOF and I was also with Tony Parker because he also did a lot of stuff and he's he was a very valued player, and also because his side life, right, with Eva Longoria and stuff like that, he was super famous at a point, and all of a sudden people don't even remember him that much, and he was a great player and he did quite a lot of stuff. I did his speech too, he was with Tim, Tim didn't like it, that doesn't like French people and stuff like that. That was quite funny. But he also, I think that he also, he was also very known, not so much because of the NBA at a point, but also because this relationship he had outside, no, right? I don't know how you lived it over there. In Europe, we wouldn't even talk about Parker, about NBA and stuff. It would be more about, oh, he's dating Eva Longoria. Wow, amazing. That's kind of sad.
For me, Tony Parker, he was good. I feel like he's rated properly. People talk about him enough to where I feel like he should be talked about.
Did I say him? It's Tony, right? I don't know how I'm calling him.
No, it's Tony.
I said Tony. I thought I said Tim, and I was like, yo, his name is Tony. What the fuck?
But I feel like people talk about him enough. If anything, I seen a poll recently comparing him to Steve Nash. Who would you rather on your team, Steve Nash or Tony Parker?
I was about to say, thank you, Shiloh. I'm actually really happy.
Not gonna lie, you guys comparing people all the time. I get so lost. Why would you be comparing people all the time? They've been saying that Trae Young is trying to mirror Steve Curry. Okay, that's Curry. That's cool. I mean, but why we all the time comparing? For me, that I'm not a hooper or something, but I just like basketball. It's why would we compare all the time? People are individually their own self. You get to develop yourself in such a way. Some others doing it in on another way. Why we compare this much?
I personally think, and I'm glad you said that,
Shiloh. Also, hi Tyson. He didn't even have the chance to speak.
No. Go ahead. I was late. It was my fault. I had a little situation at work, but thanks for having me.
I appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
I was just gonna say, I personally think Tony Parker and Shiloh. I'm actually glad you said that first. I think sometimes he gets a little overrated, to be honest.
Definitely.
I personally think that he wasn't. I think Ginobili was better than Tony Parker. Honestly, I think Tony Parker was a great player. One of the greatest, if you want to say non-big wing slashers. He could get to the rim so well. Very good at that. And it wasn't even like his efficiency is crazy and his volume is insane. So I completely give him credit for that. But I really do think a lot of people need to go look at what Ginobili was doing and look at those teams. Even in that 07 finals, where he won the finals MVP, he wasn't a better player than Tim Duncan. Even in that series, what really helped them win that series was Duncan shutting down the paint and stopping LeBron from getting in there. That was a big factor of that series. Granted, his scoring was not great, but that Cavs defense was really good. They weren't greatest on the wing, or excuse me, not on the wing, on the perimeter. So that's why Tony Parker ate that up and won a finals MVP. I really do think Tony Parker, even if you look at the earlier years when Tony was a second year player when they won a championship, I think in 03, he wasn't that great at that time. I really do believe Tony Parker in a lot of other situations, you could argue, is not even a Hall of Famer. I'm really gonna be serious. I really do believe that. Manu Ginobili, I think in a lot of other situations, even if you say he wouldn't be a Hall of Famer, I think he could have been all NBA caliber on a lot of teams.
Manu Ginobili would have started on every single NBA team except for two. there was only 2 teams, and that's the Miami Heat and the LA Lakers, that Manu Ginobili wouldn't have started on.
Even then, I would have found a way to put him on the starting. I would have found a way to put him at a guard or something. I would have found a way to play Manu Ginobili, regardless. He's such a crafty player. Like how he brought the innovation of the Euro. Go and ask James Harden when James Harden first came to the league. They asked him like, "Oh, who do you play for? Like play similar to? If you could compare yourself to NBA players." He's like, "Oh, I think the mixture of Manu Ginobili and Paul Pierce." If you go look at James Harden and watch Manu Ginobili, you can see the influence of Manu Ginobili on the game, and now how James Harden is just taking that to another level. But Ginobili, I feel like gets so underappreciated in that convo because everybody, obviously Tim Duncan's the best, and then everybody looks at Tony Parker. I think a lot of it comes through Claire brought up his relationship with Eva. Also he's just more popular because of that, and the Finals MVP. That's what
it is. The Finals MVP changes everything. Finals MVP changes everything.
Like I really think the Finals MVP, the older we've gotten, and maybe because I'm a Curry fan, call me biased, whatever. But the Finals MVP, the value of that award is kind of like it can be misrepresented when you're talking.
No, definitely. Because like you said, in 07, Tim Duncan's a better player. But you let somebody else say, "Oh, but Tony Parker has the Finals MVP." How is Tim Duncan a better player? Just because you win the Finals MVP doesn't make you the best player on the team.
Cornbread Maxwell won the Finals MVP over Larry Bird. Nobody
I don't think
it was even the best
finals for me though. I just think that in totality, using accolades to determine how good a player was is never the end all be all. Like, what did they actually look like when they were on the court? How did they play? How did they play down, up? Like, the nuance of the game gets lost when you say, well, this guy won 2 of these, so he's better. That does not equate to you being a better basketball player in often situations to me.
At all.
Okay, so I got a question. Do you think marketing to players help them grow in NBA? Like, for example, Tony Parker being with Eva Longoria, that was marketing because he was everywhere. So that helped him get better deals. Like, do you think that happens a lot in NBA?
Yeah, it helps with perception.
I bet there's a lot of better players that are not over there because they're just not seen, not popping all the time.
I agree.
I would say more to the casual fans. I would say so. Yes, when you see him on TV more, when you see him in commercials more, the casual fan is going to look at that player, and even the way the media, speaks about them, it affects that as well. So I think the media speaking about players in a certain light during the games and those type of things, and how much media run they get before the games, make you focus on certain players more. So yeah, all that stuff plays a factor when we're, what I'm saying, as a casual, just evaluating a player, but when you take a deeper dive into it, then you'll see, Manu Ginobili is the better player. Tim Duncan really did deserve the MVP because of what he did defensively and all those things. So yeah, but it all plays a part.
I also think
I remember. I think sorry.
Oh, my bad. I was just gonna say something real quick because Tyson, you brought Claire even said marketing. Tyson, you expounded on that because I was even talking to my girl the other day, and she told me. She was like, "Yo, is Baker Mayfield still really good? Because they talk about him on these shows, and I still see him in these. He's still in these commercials,
right?
He's still in a lot of these commercials. I'm like, nah, those commercials just because he had a deal when he was good, and they still talk about him because he's popular. But once the deals are done, you're not going to see nobody talking about Baker Mayfield. He's about to be backup for the rest of his life.
Mustard. When he was okay, not when he was good. When he was okay, he wasn't even good when he was getting the commercials.
He was a good rookie. He was a good rookie.
You know what I'm saying? But
where's Baker? Where's Baker now?
Tampa.
Is he Tampa?
Tampa Bay.
He's fighting for his life over there in Tampa.
Right. Would you say that I don't know too much about football, so I'm asking. Would you say Johnny Manziel was kind of in that same boat?
Yeah, but Johnny though, he had a crazy Heisman year. After that, nobody really. It was over. It was over. After that. He went to Cleveland. It was done. Oh,
it was done. Yeah.
So
Baker actually had some good performances in the NFL, and Manziel had a substance abuse issue and a whole.
Baker made the playoffs. He beat my team unfortunately in the playoffs, so that kind of gave him some time.
Yeah, that's the thing. What you just brought up, Tyson. It's different when you got substance abuse issues. You know what I'm saying? That throws a whole wrench in the program.
Right.
I don't even know who Baker is. I really don't know who he is. I'm just here.
You don't gotta worry about him. He's trash.
You ain't gotta worry about him. It's understandable.
And I hear Tampa, and that sounds far, far away.
He's
Wow.
trash. Don't worry about him.
Yeah.
I was
But
also I wanted to ask you, like, for example, going back to this marketing stuff. I remember when COVID was popping like all the time, when Kyrie wasn't able to play, like he was still everywhere. He didn't play that many games that season, right? Because he wasn't able to play because of the vaccine and everything, and he was still popping everywhere. He wasn't playing, he was there. He was everywhere. Like, I don't know, like
That's
as
that's
we
that's a little
said, like,
different though.
because I live in Europe, so it's different. I used to bet a lot, so I was like watching the games, and I was like, how is this dude not playing because he doesn't want to vaccinate, and he's still everywhere. I go on IG, Kyrie Irving, Kyrie, and he wasn't even playing, and I
well,
was like,
that's why he
okay,
was
I
everywhere,
get he's
McCray.
a good player because he's a good player, but at that point, I was like, they're leaving behind other players that are being outstanding right now just because this man doesn't want to get a vaccine. Like, that's so unfair for the guys that were playing at that point, at that moment.
Well, Kyrie just, and honestly, I understand. It's everybody's choice to get the vaccine. I give Kyrie that leeway there. I just think Kyrie, you have to look at it from two perspectives. One, like I said, this is choice. The other one, though, at the end of the day, this is a team sport. When you sign a contract, you sign to play. Like they had the plan to build this team around these three: Kyrie, KD, and Harden.
So he failed.
Yeah, they failed. I've dramatically failed. They
That-
only got one playoff series win. And Kyrie, at the end of the day, even though you think what you did, because I'm sure Kyrie still stands on what he did. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't have no regrets. That's one thing I love about Kyrie. He doesn't care about what people think. He's going to do what he thinks is right. That's fine. But you got to live with the consequences of that. The consequences is James Harden. Of course, I'm going to be mad, but I got to go out there and play with LaMarcus Aldridge off heart injury or heart surgery. And like Kevin Durant, who gets hurt. This time again, KD got hurt that season. They were very top heavy. And when you remove yourself from that equation, Kyrie, of course, James Harden's going to be frustrated and disgruntled. It's kind of one of those things that's like, I'm not mad at Kyrie for doing what he did because it's his right, but he has to understand the consequences of what he did. It cost them that big three.
You see both sides of it, definitely. That like it wasn't James Harden supposed to go to a different team. Like they recruiting him, they convinced
wanted
him,
yeah.
So you can't. I have an idea of where I want to go already. You guys are telling me this and that to go here will be better. I changed my direction and trust you guys. Then just for you to do that to me,
but Shiloh, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything to him.
Yeah, I don't like the way we're saying.
I see what you said though. It's kind of like I can't see it from both ways. There's only one way.
You're also forgetting.
There's only one way to look at this. I'm not putting that shit in my body. And y'all need to support me. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get that.
I'm 100%.
But Harden played through injury though. Harden played through a hamstring injury.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that. Once you. So what I'm saying is, once you put this shit in your arm and they push that syringe, you can never take that back. You can never take that back. So once you know what I'm saying. So that decision is way bigger than basketball. That decision is way bigger than anything that has to do with the team. So it's like, y'all understand it's a team sport, but that's just something that we gotta remember. And that's one thing. That's one reason why Kyrie is demonized as much as he is. Kyrie is demonized because you can't control him, and
I wouldn't say demonized. I wouldn't say
Kyrie is 100% demonized.
Not because of the backs. I don't think it's because of the backs.
This the thing though. This the thing. Kyrie is demonized by the league and the team owners and the media because one thing, he realizes that there's life after basketball. These people want to convince you that this basketball shit is the only thing that matters and that comes before everything, and it does not. You know what I'm saying? It does not come before everything.
I agree.
And you can't.
I don't know about that.
I agree with you, Ox. I agree with you. You make fair points, but like Brother Mustard was saying, it is in your eyes. It's only one way to look at it. Like, I'm not getting this vaccine at the end of the day, but then you got to look how the other players are looking at you, and other players are sacrificing certain things. I don't want to take the vaccine either, but I took it. You know what I'm saying? Even though right or wrong, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying how they looking. I'm saying the perception of it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So then they're looking like, man, I'm sacrificing. I'm missing these. I don't want to be out here doing this shit, but I'm out here doing it. But Kyrie, it's something you feel something that's bigger than your teammates, it's bigger than your brothers, it's bigger than this, it's bigger than that, and it is to him, and that's fine. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying how the people perceive it and how the owners perceive it. Everybody else got to do it. Why can't you do it? Blah 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 blah, so on and so forth. So therefore, that's when you get the backlash. You know what I'm saying? And it turns out, a lot of people say Kyrie was right. Whether, what I'm saying, like I said, that's neither here nor there. But I'm just saying the perception of it at the time, especially, you know what I'm saying?
And also, if you're James Harden, you literally the year before, right before, you got hurt. You got a hamstring injury. You take games off in the regular season. It probably cost you the MVP, by the way. He was probably going to win another MVP. Okay. Got hurt with the hamstring. Came back in the playoffs. They had a great first round. Smoked the Celtics, right? Then he gets hurt game 1. Comes back, plays through the hamstring injury the final 2 games of the season, where you're also not there, Kyrie, because you got hurt. And then the season ends, and he's never the same player. He played through that hamstring injury for them to have a chance to win a series that Kyrie wasn't even there. And it's like, dude,
but
I sacrificed.
I kind of have
that's how Harden's looking at it.
Conversation on Mustard, because while Harden might view it that way, the issue is we're talking about shit that we have no control over. Ultimately, James Harden made the decision to play through his injury. That does not mean because he played through his injury, Kyrie should get the vaccine. But at the same time, Kyrie not getting an impact of their basketball team because KD was out, Kyrie was out, and James Harden had to carry through his hamstring. I understand that. The bigger thing to say is for that Nets team, ultimately, if you run this 1,000 times, maybe the mandate isn't a thing and this team looks completely different. Ultimately, that didn't happen. Things went the way that they did, but there's a multitude of factors. Blaming Kyrie for why things didn't work out independently, I don't think is entirely fair because of the situation that the league was in at the time. No other team can say, oh, we went through the COVID thing where guys couldn't play and guys had to make health choices to get the vaccine or not. That is an independent situation that players have to make a choice on. Just like I will never compare that to playing through a basketball. Most players.
Oh, 100%. Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot categorize if it's right or wrong to take the vaccine or not. You cannot categorize that because that's on you as an individual. Like, okay, you don't want to take the vaccine, that's fine. And it's also very smart from Kyrie because he also took a lot of like how do you say advantage of all the marketing because it got so big, like, oh, Kyrie doesn't want to play. So I get it. All this marketing behind, but it's still like it's for the smaller ones.
The only thing I was saying when I say, oh, bad, go ahead.
Sorry, Shiloh.
No, I just want to clear. The only thing I was saying when I said I seen both sides is never like I disagree with Kyrie or I agree with Kyrie. I was just saying I could see why James Harden would leave.
But that doesn't matter if you agree or not because it's on me. If I don't want to take my vaccine, I don't care if you.
That's what I'm saying though. I agree with Kyrie's decision. I could see why James Harden would leave. That's my thing. I could see both sides. I could see two sides to it. I see why
it happened the same with KD
I won't condemn James Harden for that.
The Warriors. Like
I'm just confused at the point that we're trying to come to here. What's the point in bringing up the vaccine in the first place? We understand like why things went the way they went. The marketing thing with that, if you are an athlete that is the caliber of Kyrie Irving, your name is already going to be there, period. On top of the fact that you're a part of a successful big three with James Harden and KD as star players, and then you not playing basketball is going to become a major talking point. And I don't want to get political because this is basketball, which is why I would like to get back to basketball. But the truth of the situation is you're going to get picked up from the left and the right dramatically based on the stance that you're taking regardless.
We can get a little political.
Me personally, I'm going to be real. I'm not trying to get political either.
I'm just saying.
I think Kyrie just doesn't really understand like his platform. Like the responsibility of being a basketball player, like how big he is.
I think it's the exact opposite.
Because saying that he doesn't know, that look like the shoe deal.
Because there's more Kyrie situations than just the vaccine. Kyrie's been in other situations as well that he just.
Yeah,
I just think he doesn't.
When it comes to the vaccine thing, it gets kind of dicey. Because I feel like forget your public or what you hold to the people.
Yeah, not just that. That's not what I was just talking about.
So that's I don't agree with that.
There's other stuff with Kyrie that like. I don't even understand.
Don't you think sometimes he kind of just he kind of wants to show people like you can still be your own person. I think he's trying to go the other way. Like
I agree.
He's trying to
I
let
agree
people
with you
know.
on that.
Exactly.
He's trying.
He's very smart. Very smart dude.
I don't know. I'm not saying Kyrie's dumb.
Like,
I'm not saying Kyrie's stupid. I'm not saying that, Ox. I agree with you that.
So,
I think sometimes the media forces.
The thing about that whole shit was like, if this is all this serious, just you know what I'm saying, just shut down the season. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is this serious, if it's this dangerous for us to be playing basketball, then shut it down. Like I think we'll be okay without a season of the NBA. I don't think the world will end. But then people are like, "Oh, we need basketball."
But that wasn't an NBA thing, though. No, but that's my thing. It wasn't an NBA thing. That was a New York rule. That wasn't the NBA's rules. Remember, New York made the vaccine rule. That's why whenever the Yankees were about to play, and a lot of them didn't want to take the vaccine, they were like, "Okay, let's change the rule now because it's the Yankees." You get what I'm saying? You're going to change it for them. But the Nets, I hate to say this, nobody in New York really cares about the Nets.
We're moved by the Nets.
The Knicks, they would have cared. Nobody cares about the Nets in New York. Go look at how cheap their tickets are. Go look at their arenas. Nobody cares about the Nets. I hate to say that.
When there's fans in there, it's multiple other teams' jerseys, not the Nets jerseys.
Exactly. Yeah, nobody cares about the Nets.
You live in New York, right? You're from
there.
And
I can say this is a Knicks city. This is a Knicks town. No one looks at the Nets at all.
Nobody cares about
Okay. I think the bigger point to make would be that New York, in terms of their baseball, is bigger than their basketball ultimately.
But I can't even say that Gifted.
I'm so the needle more.
Gifted. No, I agree with that. Gifted. I 100%.
No, that's true.
Believe.
That's true.
I agree with that. But I 100% believe if Jalen Brunson said, "I'm not taking a vaccine," and it was a situation like that, they would change the rules for Jalen Brunson because the Knicks matter.
No, I don't think so. No, I disagree with that. I disagree.
I'm telling you right now, bro. Baseball moves New York way more than basketball.
Or what about this? What about this? What if Kyrie and KD were in with the Knicks instead, and Kyrie did that?
No.
Y'all really don't.
I still don't agree,
bro. I really think you underrate how big baseball in New York is.
No, I know that. No, Gifted. Two things can be true. I agree. The Yankees clear all in New York. I agree with that. But I still do think that if you're on the Knicks, that people actually care about.
I get that.
Go look at the Nets games. They're empty. Like whenever they have teams come in,
what did the Nets do to you, bro?
Other teams. When they faced the Celtics, it felt like they were at home and the Nets were away. When the Nets were at home, nobody cares about the Nets in New York at all. Nobody cares. That's why everybody was kind of shocked when they went to Brooklyn over New York. But then we found out they didn't give KD the max offer, so that's why they did that.
I'm from LA. I can relate to the Nets, Knicks, with the Lakers, Clippers type of thing. This is always going to be a LA town. The Clippers are the little brothers. They play in the basement. All the narratives and rhetoric that we talk about. I remember growing up, and you can go buy a combo meal at Burger King, and they'll throw in a free Clippers ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like it was that that bad for the Clippers. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
Oh man, they would have special deals. I'm not saying you get a value meal and get it, but it was like special deals. Like it was big promos for Clippers to get tickets out. So
it's wild.
So I understand what you're saying. Not that bad, but I understand.
The Clippers have more fans than the Nets too.
I don't get that on LA. Like in LA with the Clippers,
that's what's wild.
LA with the Clippers and the Lakers. Like, why is it so different? Like, they play at the same arena, right? And like, I watch other podcasts, and they always talk about all the trash talk that they get, like the Clippers. But I don't get that. Like, they play at the same arena. They're basically like their locker rooms are one next to the other, and it's like the same city, and they both teams have great players. And I was watching, I think it was, I don't know if it was Gilbert Arenas podcast, and they were talking about so much going on in the locker, like at the locker room and stuff like that. I was like, I don't get that. Like these are both good teams.
Clippers have no history. Clippers have no kind of history. That's what it is.
Like, right.
But like, hold on, like that for me, that doesn't make sense because America doesn't have a lot of history. Like you guys don't have this old history. So
no, I'm gonna tell you why. As a basketball fan, especially like say I'm a kid, right? Coming up, I'm being introduced to the NBA game. What team you think I'm going to like or follow more? The one that has the 17 champions, all the great players, the lore behind it, or the Clippers team that never did anything and they're probably as a team was popular
But
for
they're
the
trying. They're
but no,
trying.
they're
Yeah,
trying.
but trying's not enough. Yeah,
Not
trying's
enough
not
until
enough
they
because
actually do it.
you're talking about, Magic Johnson. You're talking about Kareem. You're talking
Shaq,
about Wilt.
Kobe,
You're talking about Shaq and Kobe.
Jerry West.
And the Clippers don't have that history. So if I'm growing up as an LA kid, would I rather follow Magic and Kareem and all the buzz of the Showtime Lakers, or would I rather follow Danny Manning and who else did they have? Man, I can't even. Michael Oliver Candy and
Elton Brand.
yeah, Booby. Yeah, it's just not it's just not comparable.
Lob City Clippers.
Right.
Yeah, but look,
Well, that started. Hold on, that's what started changing the narrative, Mustard.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
That's what started changing it, but it wasn't enough. And then you're talking about getting Kawhi, and it's still the Clipper curse. They can't stay healthy. They can't. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
that curse is crazy.
Then you got no championship runs. You got no finals appearances. You got nothing. You know what I mean?
This is what's going on here, though. This is what's going on here, y'all. Claire wants everybody to love everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Claire like, well, they're trying their best, guys. Go to the game. Let's go.
No,
Claire,
but at some point,
I don't care what city
like
they're in.
you value too the players that are on the team, and you okay, I get this all this fun stuff like Magic, Kobe. I get that because I also like that. But at some point, when you start to debate on basketball, you also have to value like reality, like the players, how good they are, and you have to value all of that, not only who was on the team 10, 20, 30 years ago, like the today.
But that's the point, Claire. Like the Clippers just recently started getting good players, though. Like, the Clippers just recently started getting good players. Like, who's the Clippers' best players? What do you guys say? I'll say, in my opinion, probably Kawhi, Paul George, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin.
Their best player is probably Kawhi or Chris Paul.
Best player,
but the thing, like, and that's all about, like, to me,
Kawhi,
the top
for
five
sure.
or top four best players is all within like the past 20 years, like 10 years. So that's why, like,
actually,
now
their
some
five
history.
best players are probably last 20 years.
Yeah, like 10 years. So like that's why.
I don't really
like,
think this is like a hard conversation to go about because the LA just simply has more history than what the Clippers do. But that's why the Clippers are trying to establish
not only
their own
more history, they got more winning.
Wait. No.
What would happen
yes.
if
But they're trying to move to a new arena.
If LeBron left the Lakers, what would happen?
And create a new history.
Yeah, they're going to Inglewood, right? They're going to Inglewood.
Yeah, because
they're going to Inglewood, correct?
At least the Nets and the Knicks have two different arenas, two different like the Knicks are in Manhattan.
Well, the Clippers and the Lakers did too.
Nets are in the Brooklyn. So what?
The Clippers and the Lakers did too. The Staples thing is a recent thing when you're talking about but
something like that,
right?
Like,
that's not always been the case.
But that hurts the Clippers. Like, you guys having the same arena is also another reason why I don't want to talk about the Clippers. You're in the same arena as a team with way more history. So
to be fair, Shiloh,
both teams hurting them.
To be fair, Shiloh, I think the Clippers had some hype before that bubble year. That they did have some hype going into that.
They were the favorites. They were the favorites.
That was, I actually think.
Oh, sure, yeah, 100%.
Same thing applies to KD and Kyrie. Like they had an opportunity to do something, or at least the Clippers, the Lob City Clippers, actually, they had an opportunity to like win a championship or two, and then change the narrative of the city just a little bit. The Nets had the same opportunity, but KD and Kyrie, they blew it, just like the Lob City Clippers blew it. And I'm not gonna lie, I think Paul George and Kawhi, I don't think they're ever gonna win a championship. So in the same, they blew another opportunity as well. And it's tough. It's tough.
It's tough, but that's why it's Lakers. Like, so yeah, to me, it's get this said, it's an easy conversation for me. Lakers have too much history. That's all it is, really. Way too much history.
Okay, so if LeBron left the Lakers, what would happen?
They would still be the Lakers.
It would still be the Lakers. The Lakers were the Lakers before LeBron.
Anthony Davis is still there too.
No, but I'm saying like for you, like you love the Lakers. Would you be okay with that, or would it be like when KD left the Warriors that everybody's blaming on KD for chasing a back or going to their team?
LeBron won a real ring for the Lakers.
I'll be fine with it. He won us a championship. Why wouldn't I be? I'm glad he even came to our team.
Okay, you're a Lakers fan.
We were struggling. Yeah, we were struggling before LeBron even came. I'm glad he even came to our team and gave us some hype. Championship or not,
but real I'm not gonna say real Laker fans, but Laker fans had a big issue with LeBron coming here. It's a lot of Laker fans that didn't like that.
That was Kobe fans.
It's Laker fans. It's
they're not real Laker. There's Kobe fans who don't like LeBron. As a Kobe fan, it's either you like.
I thought you live in New York.
Yeah, I can still be a Lakers fan.
No, I'm not saying, but I'm right here, bro. Lakers fans did not like LeBron. They didn't, and when you say that's Kobe fans, Laker fans are Kobe fans, bro. They're huge Kobe fans. What are you talking about?
There's a difference between being.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, Mustard. I understand that, but you trying to separate Kobe from Laker fans, that's a tough thing to do, bro, because they're all intermingled. You know what I'm saying?
They are intermingled.
Yes.
Quick question. So those Lakers fans, like, why didn't they want LeBron coming? What were the reasons for that?
Because they know LeBron's better, bro. Come on now, we know that.
Hi, Tyson. So those Lakers fans you said that in LA, like, what were the reasons why they didn't want LeBron to come there? Why not?
Because LeBron is like LeBron as a Laker fan, you love to crap on LeBron. On LeBron, you love to crap on LeBron. Now you taking this player that we've been crapping on over the years.
Because Kobe and Bron used to have a rivalry.
Right.
Why were we crapping on LeBron as a Lakers fan? Why were Lakers fans doing that?
Because it's an argument whether who's the best, whether Kobe's the best, LeBron is the best.
And that's my point.
I agree with you, but you're trying. I agree with what you're saying, but you're trying to separate Laker fans and Kobe fans. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Because
those are just Kobe fans.
Don't forget, Tyson. There was a point where they were putting LeBron murals when he signed, and they were like destroying them, defacing.
That's what I was going to get to. That's what I was getting. That was what I was getting
Kobe
to.
fans. They were defacing with Kobe name and all
Kobe.
that.
Right. And that's what Kobe fans. But I'm saying Laker fans and Kobe fans are intertwined.
From the Laker fan base are specifically Kobe fans. That's what I think.
That's what I'm saying. No. I'm a Lakers fan. So Thomas, I'm a Lakers fan, right? My favorite player is Kobe Bryant, right? But to me, I could separate the two. Like, to me, the only reason why, as a Lakers fan, you wouldn't want LeBron coming to your team because you are a Kobe fan. So to me, you're more of a Kobe fan than a Lakers fan. Me, once Kobe left, I'm still a Lakers fan. I could separate my love for Kobe to reality. Like, I don't mix the two. Those fans, they can't separate it. They mix the two. So to me, those are more Kobe fans than Lakers fans. If you're a true Lakers fan, you would be happy to have a top 3 player on your team. Why wouldn't you be happy?
I agree with that to a certain extent. My only issue was trying to separate a Kobe fan from a Laker fan, because I'm saying Kobe Bryant, to a certain degree, especially for a younger fan, is the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? And even to older fans, like an elder, like Kobe is that guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me when you say that. I do get what you're saying. Those are Kobe fans, but Kobe fans and Laker fans is one and the same, brother. You feel me?
But yeah, I agree. But they prioritize Kobe more than the Lakers. Is what I'm trying to say. So
if you want to say that, that's fine. That's fine.
Hey Tyson, let me ask you this. My bad. I also just wanted to ask something real quick. Do you think if Kobe would have passed away before Bron came to LA, do you think he would have been embraced by Lakers? Like if Kobe had already passed away, do you think like they would have been like, nah, get out, like we don't like, you know what I'm saying? Do you think so because Bron got to the Lakers when Kobe was still here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think it was cool. Like Kobe showed Bron love when he came. I think a lot of people are like, okay, well, if Kobe love it, if Kobe like it, I love it. And then so like, but do you think if Kobe hadn't been here, like if Kobe had passed before, do you think Lakers fans would have been more kind of standoffish with Bron? Like, nah, like we don't want you. Tyson, what you think?
Oh.
Like, what you? I'm asking everybody. I'm asking everybody though, Salo. I'm just curious to know what y'all think.
That's a tough one for me. Like like you did say, Kobe did sign off on the move, and for Laker fans, you know what I'm saying, and embrace LeBron, so to speak. But even still, people were still like, nah, I don't care. I'm riding with Kobe. I don't F LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So it still was that. So even if he would pass, it would have been worse. But I mean, that's something I can't really know for sure. You know what I'm saying? But I understand your question. It probably would have been worse. Yeah, I would say.
I think it would have been worse. It would have definitely been worse. Yeah.
I mean, one of the greatest things of Kobe is that people that don't even love his mindset, right, and his quotes and the way he like.
The mentality.
Yeah, the mentality, exactly. That's super cool. So I'm here, like, sorry, it's my first time. We have some super chats that I should read. Do I have to show them? Ops, you've done this before.
Are you want me to show it for you?
Huh?
You want me to show it for you?
Yeah, sure. If you know how to do that.
Yeah, I got you right here. Here you go.
Cool. So Jimmy Productions, thanks for sending us a super chat. Do you know the song "Rapping for Jesus"? I don't know the song. I'm about to search it. Do
I have
y'all
no
know this?
idea. Careful, don't search it and play something
I
crazy.
probably wouldn't search that. I'll be honest.
That's crazy.
I've never heard it before.
I've never heard.
I
Of
never
I
heard
don't
of it.
know it.
Yeah, no.
Rapping for Jesus.
You're doing the next one, Ops.
Oh yeah, I got you right here. My bad.
Yeah, don't look it up.
There you go.
Yo, this whole Lillard stuff for me, like I'm just over this. Like I don't know how you guys talked about this like for so long. The
Oh,
best
yeah,
thing I
to
saw about
Miami.
this was this memes with the ice cream where they put Damian Lillard's head on the ice cream and they start like moving it around and like that because like this makes no sense. You guys keep talking about this, I don't get it.
I'm not gonna lie, Dame to Miami. I mean, look, it's probably gonna happen, but like, there's a couple other spots that I would really like for Dame to go to. Like,
You talking about the Timberwolves?
Timberwolves for one, that would be cool.
That ain't
Really nice. Yeah, it's not happening, but I also do think Dame to Boston would have been perfect before that Jaylen Brown extension. That would have been the perfect spot. Unfortunately, the Celtics had to
Damian
ruin
Lillard
themselves by
in
signing
front
Jaylen
of
Brown to
Jaylen
Supermax.
Brown.
I mean, yeah, Celtics had to ruin themselves by signing Jaylen Brown to a Supermax. So, but more than likely he'll be in Miami. So whatever.
But the holdup is the Blazers. Like, the Heat is sending them multiple deals or packages. The Blazers,
Yeah, because nobody wants that. Nobody wants Tyler Hero and
yeah, that's the holdup.
Tommy
Really.
Jaquez.
Look, listen. I think what the holdup is right now is we're in the
Don't say
off
a word
season,
about
and
Jaime Jaquez, please.
they're trying to do the right
I mean-
thing by waiting as long as they can to get the value that they want. So it makes sense for them to wait. That's kind of something that is to be expected. But ultimately, once you get to training camp, now it's like, okay, are we really going to start our season with Dame on this team? Like, are we really not going to trade him? What's going to happen? I think the trade will happen, but it always has been a framework of like a 3-team deal. It's not going to be like a straight up trade between 2 teams, and that's a complicating trade to pull off. So that's going to take some time.
Shiloh, you better have that money ready.
Shiloh had them bucks ready, bro.
Because Bam gonna be there. I'm ready for that.
Oh, hang on.
I agree with Gifted. Like it's no rush. It's no rush for them to pull off this trade. They got time. They got the leverage. So they just wait for the best deal to come forth. And I think Miami will make that deal happen eventually. But right now, like you said, Gifted made a great point. It's no rush.
No rush at all.
I do think though, once the season starts, I do think like it depends on the success of the Heat because their leverage right now is like you guys need Dame if you want to win. But if the Heat start out good and Portland is like, basically bringing bringing Scoot off of their bench for Dame, like to me, I would much rather just go into the future saying, Scoot, from day one, you're our guy. You're going to be the core focus of what our team is supposed to be, compared to just not trading Dame simply because you want to wait. But it all depends on like the value that you're getting back. I personally don't think that the value for Dame is as high as people would think it is. He's getting older. He has like 3 more years left on his contract where he's making super max cash. And there's not that many teams who are like a point guard away from contending, because even for Dame, you're not trading these significant pieces to get Dame back, because then the team you have with Dame might not be good enough. And there's only like so many teams in the running to try to get Dame.
Right.
Yeah. But wait, so do you think that they're gonna go into training camp with not trading Dame?
Me personally, I don't know. I predicted initially that this would happen before training camp. I figured that it would stall out talks until now, like right before the season starts. My thing is like, is Dame gonna keep applying pressure? Because before the NBA said Dame has to play, Dame was applying pressure on them, saying, I'm not gonna play for any team that trades through his agent. So really, it's a question of like how explosive does this situation become in the next 15 days, 20 days, or 30 days, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, hi Jalen. He just
What's good? What's good, y'all? How y'all doing?
Thank you for joining.
Hey man,
guys, Ox, I'm sorry, I have to cut this conversation 1 second. I don't know how to change the screens because why am I always the first? I'm not supposed to be the first. You guys are supposed to be the first, but I don't know how to change it. Like, I'm sorry, I want to change it, and I don't know
what do you mean, Claire? How do you want it? Like,
Ladies
you know
first,
how
Miss Claire. Ladies first.
Ron starts changing everything,
you
and
top
like,
left.
You
no,
top left.
uh,
Oh, you want it like that? But then we can't see the.
no, I don't know what I want.
That's the.
To me,
No,
it's fine.
it's
Yeah.
fine. Like,
Good,
I'll do a
good.
tutorial with Ron. Like, but I'm just always number one there, and
Where do you want to be, Claire? Tell me, I'll move you.
I should be the last one, and you guys should be like, popping and shit. Like, not me, the first one.
I feel like Ron's always at the top though. Ron's just always in the top 2.
Yeah, like the host. To me, the host should always be you. You the host, so
you're in the right
top
spot.
left. You're man in the ship.
I'm sorry, host, but I promise I'll get better.
And then, like on the super chats, Claire, like when you can show it and then you hide it, but once it's gone, you press the star and it disappears, and you can move to the next.
Okay, because I was reading, I started all this Dame Lillard's conversation because there's this super chat that was referring to that. Cody Green, thank you a lot. And I started talking because I thought that he was gonna put it in, and I just started talking about it, and we didn't even show the super chat. And that's
didn't even read it. Yeah.
So thank you, Cody. I'm sorry.
You going to talk about the James Harden situation? That's what I want to talk about. I'm tired of James Harden, man.
What James Harden situation?
He's stuck in Philly. He's stuck in Philly.
I do want to talk about James Harden situation.
The man in the trade.
They denied it.
So
they
all right,
listen.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This post about them saying that we're no longer trying to trade Dame, like I have a hard time believing any of these posts. Trade talks have stopped until they begin again. That's why I'm
like, trade talks stopped because they're going on vacation. Like, man, listen, it's the summertime. This is the dead point of the NBA season. That's go on vacation too. So I feel like they stalled the trade talks because they didn't get no package they liked. And we're gonna go on vacation, do our thing, come back, and then hear more because they're gonna keep him. Keep somebody.
I just don't believe that.
I think what they're waiting for.
I
think what they're waiting for is to get the picks because honestly, Tyler Hero is just not enough to move the needle. So like you got to get other picks. And I even saw a move where they could get a third team involved. I actually like this. It's Dame. The Blazers get Dame, Devontae Graham, and 2 firsts, but it's like heavily protected. The Blazers get Kyle Lowry, Doug McDermott, Jovic, 2 firsts one from Charlotte, 1 from Atlanta, another first, another first, another first, and another first. So 6 first-round picks from them. And then the Spurs.
6 is aggressive. 6 is very aggressive.
Yeah.
Who's giving 6 first-round picks?
It's 6 first. The combination picks from the Spurs
from 2 teams.
From
the Spurs and the Heat.
So and then the Spurs get Tyler Hero. So that's
it.
3-team deal. That's one example of a 3-team deal.
I think the Spurs.
The Spurs giving up 3 ones for Tyler Hero.
No, the Spurs are not giving up most of their picks. Some of these picks are from Miami. Most of these picks are from Miami.
No, but you said 3 and 3 though.
Yeah.
So where is James Harden?
2 teams. It's a 3-team deal, but the Spurs
you're
are
talking
giving
about
up.
This is the
now,
Dame deal.
I get that, but where is Harden going though?
We
Harden?
was talking about Harden,
Dame.
He went back to Dame.
I'll feel you, Mustard. Nobody want to talk about James Harden.
No, we're gonna talk about James Harden. We're gonna talk about James Harden. James Harden. So that whole no trade thing, I just think it's a tactic because they don't have the package they want. Like the Clippers don't have really yeah, it's a tactic. But the Clippers also don't have anything they really want. Like for James Harden,
don't nobody want James Harden, Jalen.
And they don't want to give up.
We ain't about to disrespect a 2010 guy.
I'm not disrespecting him. It's not disrespectful to say that nobody wants him. Nobody wants him.
Okay, that is disrespectful.
Yeah,
that's not disrespectful. There's plenty of good players out there. There's plenty of good players out there. That's for instance, let's look at the Utah Jazz. So the Utah Jazz realize that there's plenty of people out there, and we can package some of these players and get them, but we don't want them. You know what I'm saying? That's a common thing. That's a common thing in the NBA. That's common, but not with James Harden. Yes, it clearly is. If somebody wanted him, They would have
the Clippers.
That's not fair.
Look, the fact that Philly is
yeah, maybe not at the asking price. Maybe not at the asking price. But they want some teams do want James Harden. I don't want James Harden on my team, but at the same time, it's some teams that want him.
Want James Harden.
Y'all know how Daryl Morey works. He's not going to get like.
Nobody wants James Harden for $40 million. Nobody wants James Harden for $40 million a season. People will take James Harden.
He's going to get what James Harden is worth. He's going to get what James Harden is worth.
I think what makes this deal so hard though is because James Harden is on it expiring. So the problem is like trading for James Harden, making sure that he resigns with you, and also trading him to a team that has a chance to win. James Harden also wants to go to the Clippers. So that makes things tough, especially when
he's lame for that.
LA is in. LA Clippers are literally in a situation where they have to choose if they're going to extend both Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. This might be their last hurrah season together. So trading for James Harden is a great way to maximize that window. But they want Terrence Mann, and the Clippers don't want to give up Terrence Mann.
Bro, if you're James Harden, why are you not staying in Philly? You literally have yourself the MVP in the NBA.
Oh wait, he has a problem. He has a problem with Daryl Morey though. He has a problem.
And it's crazy. It's actually crazy, Gifted. Because if I'm the Sixers, I literally think, especially if they're not happy with Miami, you could trade for Dame. You actually have the pieces to trade for Dame. You have an expiring contract in Tobias Harris. You have Tyrese Maxey. You can move off of both of them and get Dame Lillard. You can throw in some picks in there as well. Find a third team, get some picks in there, and you can move Harden as well.
How are you moving off Tobias Harris contract for Dame? That don't make no sense.
No,
how much you value Maxey?
No. Gifted. Listen, I'm saying you can move Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris to Portland or in another team.
Why would Portland take on Tobias's contract? Why do that?
He's an expiring deal. You're a young team. You take the expiring
deal.
Why
would Philly trade Maxey?
Young teams do.
Older Dame.
Okay, but it's not a win now situation.
The only way that no. Listen, the only way that makes sense is if you're also taking on Nurkic's contract because they want to get off of Nurkic's money too. So if they're taking on Tobias for 1 year to get off of Nurkic and they're getting that value back, I understand. But there's no way in hell that they're going to take Tobias Harris' contract with Nurkic on that roster still.
Right now,
they have to take Nurkic's money.
Gifted. I really don't think that moving Nurkic is something they have to do this offseason. It's not something I think they want
to do it if they're trading them.
They're prioritizing it. Sure, they're prioritizing it.
You can prioritize it, but you can always still move him in another deal. You don't have to move him in this deal.
But almost the big hang up why Dame hasn't been moved though is because they're trying to get.
And I'm telling you right now, they're not gonna, if they don't find a deal for Nurkic, I don't think he's a deal breaker. If you throw in picks,
I think he is because that's why Dame hasn't been traded. Right now to me though, because I think the hang up is they want to get
it gifted, but it's the Heat that want him. The Heat, can we agree that the Heat, out of all the like legitimate packages out there, they have the worst. They have the worst package, so that's why, and they're probably the only team.
Do they have the worst package though?
That's not a good deal. That's not a good deal. Tyler Hero, Kyle Lowry.
Okay, but you're not trading. Wait, no. You're not trading Tyler Hero to
Caleb Martin, whatever.
They are not trading Tyler. Okay, people have to understand this, right? They're not trading Tyler Hero to Portland. They're not doing that. They're trading Tyler Hero to a third team. Off of the assets to get them there. My whole point on if they have the worst package or not, what other packages have been floated around for Dame? I'm trying to tell you, I don't think the market for Dame is as big as
I'm saying. Throughout this whole thing, I thought Boston had a better deal, but unfortunately, they screwed that up by signing Jaylen Brown.
Boston offered a deal for them?
No, Boston didn't offer. They didn't offer a deal. They didn't offer a deal. I'm saying out of all the offered,
I'm talking about the offers that have been offered. If Boston didn't offer anything, what's better?
The Miami deal was just not enough for them to say, okay, we're going to accept it. It's just not a good enough deal. If you're the Blazers, you don't want that unless that third team is going to also give you some value in picks or a player or two, right? But if you are Philly, you can get that third team involved. It could be the Clippers. It could be some other team out there. You can move Harden. You can move Tyrese and Tobias. You could get Dame back. There's a third team out there.
I don't think it's that simple.
Nobody wants James Harden.
Well, why? Isn't he like super ups and downs? Like I know Harden more because of the strip clubs and stuff like that he does, or because he gets fat for no reason, or all that stuff. Like
outside of him.
Ox just hates James Harden.
I've never seen him for a straight season in shape or a straight season like focused. He's always like up. Gains a lot of weight, goes out to the strip clubs, he gets faded and he gets caught. Then, like, it's almost like, who would want to play like that?
I really don't like all these narratives, though, bro. I don't like.
Why does he have?
I don't like the way that's being framed. Like Harden did not maximize everything Joel Embiid did last year as a playmaker. I really don't like that.
No, I agree, but Harden has to take accountability and understand.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, that's on him. That's on him.
I think Harden does a lot of extracurricular activity.
He should be staying in Philly. He should. That's a perfect. Not perfect, but it's a good situation.
I don't think it's perfect.
No, hold on. James Harden has every right. James Harden has every right to be mad at Philly. Daryl Morey, he took a discount for that. Hold on.
Mad for what?
Hold on.
What did they do to him?
Hold on.
What did Philly do to him?
James Harden took a discount so they could sign PJ Tucker.
That's his fault.
No.
Nah, Mustard, don't do that.
Hold on.
Mustard, don't do that.
Hold up.
Hold on. Make me mad. Y'all gonna make me
mad.
mad.
Let Jalen go.
Discount. He took a discount for them to sign players, put him in a better position to win, with the promise from Daryl Morey that when it was time for the extension, he'll get that max deal. He'll get that $40 million a season. Then they realize him as a diminishing player at his age. They saw his playoff drop, and they're like, hold up, maybe we don't want to do this. So hold up. Man to man, he had a handshake agreement that obviously wasn't on paper that he took a discount, but that they would pay him afterward. Just like how Golden State with Draymond Green. Guess what? We all know Draymond probably not worth that, but they realized that he did some sacrifices. What they did for him, they gave him that deal. James Harden expected the same thing, but it didn't happen. So he has every right to be upset at Daryl Morey and the ownership group for leading him one way and not paying up on those times.
Jalen, and I'm telling you
I
right
don't think
now.
it was explicitly promised, sadly.
Hold up, Gifted. I'm telling you right now. You comparing it to Draymond is laughable. Draymond has won championships. Draymond has won championships for the Warriors. He is a Warriors lifer. He earned that based off of what he's done for them. James Harden has not done anything for the Philadelphia 76ers. Him taking a pay cut for one. Hey, congrats. You took a couple $1 million less. I'm happy for you.
No joke.
Jalen, I agree. It's a good thing that he did. If you're Philly, if you promised him that, that's one thing. And I understand him feeling a little some type of way. But at the end of the day, guess what? Just like last year when you faced the Heat and you were unwilling to shoot the ball, this year you went to Game 7 with the MVP on your team. And you look like you were playing for the other team in that Game 7.
Okay.
You could really bet James Harden's over and under every single game.
Okay.
You would have made money. You would have cashed
I'm going to let Omo land.
Do we forget that 40-point game?
Jalen, wait. Let Omo go. Let Mustard go. I'm going to respond to Mustard. Mustard, keep going. I'm going to respond to Mustard. Go.
He literally, you could have bet his over and under every game and won so much money. That's how bad James Harden was at times and how great he was at times in the playoffs. Great playoff run, bad playoff run. Every other game. Okay. And then on top of that, it's like this. Even when he took less money, they brought in Anthony Melton. They brought in his boy PJ Tucker. They brought in his boy Daniel House. They brought in pieces for him. Right? They go into the season. They were the 3rd seed. They faced the Celtics. It's a Game 7. You are pathetic. You fold in that game. You are already regressing as a player. You just missed an all-star game, rightfully or wrongfully. You just missed the all-star game for the first time in almost a decade, right?
Okay.
And on top of that, now you're going into a season where the Rockets didn't want you. A lot of other teams are not giving you that money. You got to realize, you got to have some self-awareness to understand, hey, maybe I'm just not worth the max. Maybe I'm just not worth the max unless I'm in a certain situation. And in this situation, I'm sorry. No, you're not getting a max contract, buddy.
Okay, so
not after what you just had, especially when you can opt in and bet on yourself and try to win.
Okay,
Philly is the right situation for you. You're a point guard. You're playing with
you said a lot. No. Omo, you have said a lot. Now let someone respond to you. Go ahead, now here's the other perspective. How about we stop babying the MVP of the league by only looking at James Harden when the best player on that team was Joel Embiid? When James Harden's role for the entire year was to play, make, and create for Joel Embiid and make his life easier. How about we acknowledge Joel Embiid's level of play when Harden was not on the floor and how he struggled and how year after year after year in the playoffs, Joel Embiid has failed to stay healthy and produce when it matters in the second round. How about we focus on the second round where I agree with you. James Harden had multiple games where he looked terrible and was not producing. But let's also acknowledge how in the games that they won, James Harden was electric and arguably was the core catalyst for why they were able to win a lot of their games. Starting off game one on the road, James Harden put up an amazing performance to get them a win. How about we acknowledge in game 6, Harden and Embiid as a duo collectively folded down the stretch of that game 6 when Tatum was making those threes despite having such a horrible game. They did not lose that series because of James Harden. They lost that series because a collective of choking from James. Come on. I let Mustard talk. I don't like this like balance of blame. Joel Embiid did not have an MVP-like performance in that entire series. James Harden had 2 good games, but also struggled the majority of the series. So the both of them did not show up. On top of the fact that their roster was not maximized properly by Doc Rivers, where there's no off-ball movement.
I should have knew you was going to blame it on Doc. I knew you was going to.
I'm not okay, but listen, I'm not blaming one sore catalyst.
Right,
I'm blaming the entire roster. It's many things that went awry, and the way Mustard is framing it, you're acting as if they lost because of James Harden. They didn't. No, they lost because the team as a whole had many different flaws, and the fact that Joel Embiid's name, you call him the MVP. Did he play like an MVP in the playoffs? I don't think so. So we don't have production from multiple sources like that. You're asking why James Harden will want out. It makes a lot of sense. I took this sacrifice. I played the entire. No. I'm getting to your question. I played mate for the entire season. Doc Rivers is coming out in interviews saying he wanted me to play a certain way. I played that way. We still didn't win. This guy is the MVP of the league. He was crying about the MVP during the regular season, talking about why he deserved it over Nikola Jokic. And when we get into the playoffs, he does not play to that level. And I'm literally willing us to a win without you on the floor. And we lose a game 6 because in your mind, you're not getting the ball enough down the stretch when you're the MVP. The MVP is supposed to be the guy who's impacting winning the most on that team to go past. But because James Harden has had a higher peak than Joel Embiid, we're putting the pressure on him. Let's stop babying the entire franchise.
No. First of all, Gifted, I 1,000% agree that Joel Embiid gets a lot of that blame. I agree. But this convo is not about Joel Embiid. This convo is about James Harden. James Harden is the one that wants that money. Gifted, I swear to you, you know basketball. You're a smart guy. You're a good guy. You know he's not worth a max contract.
I'm not maxing him either. No,
you're not maxing him. So especially after that stinker game 7, that not only Embiid was bad, but Harden was bad. Did Harden even have double digits in that game? Please correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm pretty sure PJ Tucker outscored the both of them in the first half or something like that.
James Harden was horrendous in that final game. He didn't score a point in the fourth quarter of that. Wow, that's actually kind of crazy. 5, 6, and 7. That's actually I didn't even know that. 5, 6, and 7.
I'm sorry.
Shout out Brandon Katz coming in.
5, 6, and 7 is insane. So Harden, as bad as he was in that closeout game, and as bad as he was at times and throughout the whole playoffs, and how much he's regressed over the last year and a half, I'm not giving you that max. You have to just understand that. This is not a situation where you're Draymond in Golden State. You're not even Clay in Golden State type.
Okay. Now you're going far as shit. Now you're going far as hell, Now you're going
Clay has done things for that organization. They won 4 titles with him.
I just don't understand how we can focus on the games where Harden played bad. And I'm already agreeing with you, he played bad, but we're not highlighting that he had bigger performances against the Celtics than Joel Embiid.
It's not just that Gifted.
That matters. Does that not matter?
Capable of great performances, but he didn't come through when they needed him, and he's already regressing as a player.
Crazy.
Okay, listen, hold on.
But he did come through when they needed him. He also did.
They needed him in that series.
They needed him in game 1. They needed him in game 5.
Game 6 also. Game 6 also.
We're arguing two different things. Gifted, you're right with everything you just said about the Joel Embiid. Like, the blame isn't only on Harden. I get that. But then I get Mustard's point because James Harden is the one bitching. James Harden is the one wondering why I'm not getting a max. Or I'm not getting a max, I'm leaving. He's not taking accountability to why he was part of the problem. He wasn't part of the problem. It wasn't the only issue, but you were part of the problem. So instead of running away from it, you sit there and help fix it, because I bet you that pay cut he took, and let's say he said, all right, do this pay cut next year, we'll give you the max, whatever. But I bet you that pay cut came with at least with the conference finals. At least he didn't do that. So you are part of the reason why you didn't do it. So take
accountability. Wait. Is your argument that because the team did not go to the conference finals, James Harden shouldn't get what?
No, my point is that pay cut, right? Was to what? Because James Harden wanted to win, right?
It was an attempt to win, yeah.
So I'm saying,
I can't believe y'all are arguing over who's the biggest bum. Joel or Joel.
That's not the argument, bro. That's not the argument.
No, so James Harden should take accountability and see why that he's not getting the max. Don't just run away and stay there and try to fix it instead of always just running away when I'm not getting a max deal, I'm out. He's always just trying to run. Just sit there for you were part of the issue. That's the only
I think y'all glossing over Jalen's point though. Like he was promised this money. You know about James Harden issues when he was up in his prime in the playoffs, and now you asking him to take a lesser role, and then in the playoffs now you asking him to step up and take a bigger role because of your offense. And Joel Embiid can't get shit done, so now he got to take a bigger role, and he sucks in that role, which you already knew. But now you don't want to give him money when you promised him this money. So I mean, I understand Harden being mad, and I understand Morey's situation as well, but you shouldn't promise that man no money when you already knew his playoff history. But you thought giving him a lesser role. You thought giving him a lesser role, he wouldn't have to beat this guy in the playoffs. But now then you ask him to beat this guy in the playoffs, and he does exactly what he's been doing his whole career.
Tyson, let's be serious though.
I mean, they didn't outright handshake deal with
Tyson, but them saying that James Harden should take a lesser role, he needed to take a lesser role because he's just not that caliber player anymore.
Agreed. But you knew that.
Okay. But listen, the problem that I have with this, right, is even if we agree, right, and we say, okay, James Harden is not that caliber, right? If James Harden is not that caliber player, if Embiid plays at his level, they win and they go to the conference finals.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
What James Harden gave you in that series was good enough to win 3 games. Right. If Embiid gives you one MVP-like performance in that series,
was it really?
You want to go to their wins? Because I think winning a playoff game with James Harden by himself with no Embiid on that roster,
it was. That's fine. That's fine.
I also think James Harden taking the game winner off of Jaylen Brown choosing to help off of Joel Embiid was also pretty pivotal to them winning. I also think James Harden playmaking.
It's fine. That's Jaylen Brown's fault.
But the point I'm trying to show you here is this is a team sport, right? James Harden is being paid to be the second guy who playmakes and makes everyone, including Joel Embiid, better with his playmaking and his ball handling skills on top of his scoring in spurts. But he's not that same guy. We understand that. But guess what? You don't need James Harden to be the same guy if Embiid is playing at his level. You're asking James Harden to elevate his play, which is fair, but it's in the same game where Joel Embiid is not being that guy that we expect him to be in the playoffs. You can't have both.
Okay, Gifted, would you give Harden a max? Be serious.
I wouldn't max James Harden. I never said I would.
No one thinks he's worth the max. No one thinks he's worth the max, but he should be given the money.
That's the reason why he's leaving.
He should be given the money that he was promised because he took a discount to help
things change.
Things change. Okay, but as principle, I understand things can
change. But don't be mad he's mad at that, though.
Exactly. Don't be mad he's mad at that.
He needs to be mad at himself for not being at that level.
That's not fair.
He needs to be mad at himself. He needs to be mad at himself.
Because if you are producing, you get the money. Be mad at yourself.
No.
That's what he needs to be mad at.
It's not all about producing. It's not all.
It is about production. If your production don't match your salary, you're not getting paid.
You're not just going to sit here and act like it's all about production, bro. It's about relationships as well. Are we gonna lie? Are we gonna lie?
It's about production and what have you done for me? He hasn't done either.
He hasn't done either. Is it not about relationships as well? Are we just gonna act like it's just basketball?
I'm telling you, what relationship has James Harden earned from Philly? He hasn't done anything.
He sacrificed his own money.
He hasn't done anything.
No,
he hasn't done anything. Okay, so he didn't max. Wait. He didn't play a role in maximizing Joel Embiid throughout that entire regular season, and he didn't play a role in their biggest playoff wins.
They made the conference finals.
He didn't do that.
Did they make the conference finals?
There is no way you're asking me if they made the conference finals. No, answer my question. Did he not do those two things? Don't answer my question. The question.
Did he regress as a player? Did they make the conference finals?
No. If he did what I said he did, then he absolutely did.
That's not max enough. That's not money for a max, buddy. No. No,
that's not money for a max.
Okay, Mustard money, right? But if he was,
that's not max worthy.
I didn't see the promise. I didn't see the promise of the max.
We are talking in circles.
We're talking in circles.
Business. If you shake on a promise that I will max you no matter
Ron
what,
in the chat is funny as hell.
You should max.
Well, I'm sorry. Unless we put in pen to paper, no, I'm cool.
Nah,
I'm
see,
cool. Things change, bro.
They had
Things
a backdoor handshake agreement, though.
Let me ask you this: If James Harden,
I don't think. Wait. I don't think there was any report on them outwardly handshaking on the deal, though. I think they talked about it. There's no report outwardly saying that happened, though.
I didn't hear about no
even if it did, it doesn't matter. This is hold up real quick. This is professional sports. If you don't, we can't do no under the table handshakes behind the door handshakes.
Agreement that he was going to stay with the Clippers, and he left to the Rockets.
You can't hold up, bro. Hold on one second, bro. You can't do that. Like this is the NBA. This is a professional sport. You can't do no behind the closed door handshakes, under the table deals. If it's not signed in a contract, that shit don't matter. Like it doesn't matter. We can't talk about it. Oh, he was mad because they said we're gonna do this. Well, y'all should have got in your contract. Call your lawyer. Get your lawyer on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get this shit together. Like if I'm saying like I understand. Like be a man of your word. Like of course. You know, stand on your word. Like that's cool and all. But everybody's not gonna do that. Like this is It's a $1 billion industry. You need to get shit in writing. That's just whatever it is, bro.
We all know that. We're just saying, is he can he has a right to be mad about it? Does he feel a certain way? You don't think he has a right to be mad about it when you make it? Well, that's where that's the question.
Let's move on. We're talking.
Yeah, let's move on. We can move on.
We're moving over because it's like Anthony Edwards better than Tatum.
Oh, come on.
Next topic.
That's egregious, Max. That's egregious, Max.
I don't even think Chitchat would say that.
I love Ant, though. I love Ant, but no.
Mad Max, I don't think you should do sports talk anymore.
Y'all saw him on.
He got potential to be. We'll say that.
Potential there.
On Fat Babes podcast, the hype. Say
it again.
So what'd you say?
Didn't you see him on Fat Babe podcast? It was him, right?
Who? Edwards?
And now that was Cat.
No,
I think it was called.
That's how good I am at hosting.
Oh, good.
Claire think all light skinned niggas look alike.
It's like that.
That's crazy.
Like
Racism, colorism.
That's crazy.
Shiloh look like Catson.
Oh my God.
He ain't light enough. He ain't light enough today. He got a few more shades.
You got it, Tyson. He's the resident light skin up here.
Oh man.
This one too, because this one is a nice one. Shout out, Play Shores and Gifted. You gotta hop on the anime episode next week.
I watch with anime, bro. I do. I watch that.
You like anime too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which ones?
Okay. Let's see. 91 Days, Bleach, Death Note, Code Geass. I watch it like a good grip of shows, I would say.
Okay. I'm not hip to those ones. So I got to start.
I never got into it. Never got into anime.
I'm Mr. Wave. I'm gonna get with the
two animes in my life: Dragon Ball Z and Yu-Gi-Oh. That's it. We're gonna call it a day.
The only one I see is Ninja Scroll. That's the only thing when I seen.
My oldest son's trying to get me into it.
Hey, Lil Trae is right. Jason Tatum is better than Jimmy Butler. We know this.
I just hate that take.
I'm not mad at it. Like I get it.
You don't believe this, Gifted? You got Jimmy over Jason?
Facts.
I got Jimmy over Jason.
Didn't y'all argue that yesterday? Didn't y'all argue that yesterday? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I saw a little.
And I cooked mustard over that too.
Oh.
So you know.
You talked over Mustard for that one. I was watching that. You talked over my boy for the whole.
I was up 70-30.
That's what I'm saying.
I was up 70-30 before that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
He talked louder, not smarter, Tyson. He talked louder.
I don't know. One, I do know you didn't have a chance to rebuttal. I do know that.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
He absolutely rebutted. Listen, he made great points. I just edged you out.
No,
It's what it
I
is.
just had to let him keep going. I was like, bro, I'm just let him rock, bro.
Bro, it's crazy because wait. It's crazy because Mustard was making points he didn't even believe in. I've heard Mustard say multiple times Tatum has scored the fakest 30 he's ever seen.
Ooh, that's what you got to do in the debate. Gifted. That's what you got to do in the debate sometimes.
Tatum is one of the worst 30-point per game scores I've ever seen.
What's a fake 30? Hold on. There's no such thing as a fake 30. A 30 points in NBA.
No, I agree.
I didn't say fake. I didn't say fake. I said he's one of
the. You didn't say fake? Okay.
No, I said he's one of the worst 30-point per game scorers I've ever seen. But
what you mean bad efficiency?
I do think Allen Iverson exists, and he might be a worse 30-point scorer than Tatum, but.
Jalen, that's not necessary, bro.
I'm just saying. Shout out AI. Don't do this thing.
Iverson.
Yeah.
Jalen, do you low key like on the under? Like not. I'm not gonna say dislike, but do you think Allen Iverson is extremely overrated?
Oh, as a basketball player, yes, I understand. Culturally, the impact he had during that time. But as a basketball player, I do think he is highly overrated.
Wait, Jalen, aren't you a Boogie fan though?
A what fan? A Boogie fan.
Boogie fan.
Please don't say his name. Holy shit, don't say his name.
DeMarcus Cousins. But
do not bring up DeMarcus Cousins' ass.
If you think Iverson's overrated, Boogie has to be overrated.
Bro, don't bring up his name. Don't bring up his name, please.
Hold on, with Allen Iverson, some people have him.
I'm just saying because I saw you say.
He said some bullshit. He said some bullshit.
Lakers team that they would win a championship.
Because LeBron James was there, he'd make it work with Boogie.
His man be doubling down on bullshit, man. I swear.
That's what it is.
What he said?
That's what he said.
About the Lakers?
Okay, that 2020
Shiloh. He said if you put Boogie on the Lakers instead of AD, they win in 2020.
And he was right. That was a solid take, and I agree with you. I agree then, I agree now. I stand with Jalen on that take.
That's so disrespectful.
I promise you don't gotta stand with that. I promise you.
I can't stand with that. I respect Boogie game.
When he said it,
I respect Boogie game.
Yes, that's exactly where I'm at. That's exactly where I'm
answer
at.
the question, yes, Boogie's overrated. Now, because they're hearing that, yes, Boogie is overrated.
But they because
they're hearing that.
One of the most overrated, Shiloh. Go look at how people talk about Boogie. He's so overrated.
No,
Boogie's probably the best center in the league.
People will literally sit there and say Boogie is better than Jokic, Embiid. Like, no.
Prime Boogie clears Embiid.
AI did all that. Hold on.
Oh, nah. Clears is crazy.
Boogie's overrated. My answer is yes, Boogie's overrated.
I don't know about that. I think AD's a better player, but I think Boogie is him. Boogie's still him.
Bro, I told you to not bring up Anthony Davis, bro. This is shit I be talking about, bro. Like,
the AD disrespect is so insane.
That's not disrespect for the AD. We're not disrespecting AD.
Jalen literally told me
that is.
Hold on, real quick.
Jalen literally told me the perimeter defense was comparable, bro.
But look.
That was nasty. That was nasty.
This is the thing.
That was nasty.
This is the thing about the AD the AD thing. Saying that DeMarcus Cousins was good enough to put him on that team and win has nothing to do with Anthony Davis at all.
It does. It does.
No, it doesn't, bro. I'm literally not saying Anthony Davis's name at all. This has nothing to do with
Anthony's defense.
Relax, bro. What I'm saying is, if you have just a roster, right, and let's pretend like Anthony Davis was never on this team, this has absolutely nothing to do with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis did what he had to do to get that championship. He deserved it. Some people said he could have got Finals MVP. But this is what I'm saying. If you put there's other players that you could fill in for certain players and still get a ring, and I think you can do that. And that's more so just bigging up DeMarcus. It has nothing to do with Anthony Davis.
That's one of the biggest reasons why they won is because of AD's defense. You're taking that away for a way worse.
Again,
but there's more than one way to skin a cat, Shiloh.
Bro, but Ox.
And that team had other defenders too.
Jalen, hold on. I get so. When it comes to Boogie,
because they won that way doesn't mean that was the only way they could have done it.
Ox, I don't understand how you guys like when you look at Boogie.
How's that hard?
Look at Boogie's game, and this is why I say Boogie is such an overrated player, because if you look at Boogie's game and what he was doing in Sacramento, he was not that impactful of a player. He just wasn't. He was a turnover machine.
27, 5, and 11. What?
See, that's what I'm saying. You can say a bunch of numbers, but that doesn't prove your point. Boogie,
that had nothing to do with DeMarcus. We fucking sucked, bro. That was not DeMarcus.
Y'all had
that was a bad team.
The problem with y'all's team was defensively. That was the problem. Y'all had some.
We had more problems
that
than
were
that.
great. Y'all had 3 20-point per game scores on y'all team at one point. Boogie, Rudy Gay, and Isaiah Thomas. The problem
Rudy Gay? We counted Rudy Gay like he's what?
Hold on. Don't disrespect Rudy Gay.
Don't disrespect Rudy like that, bro. Don't disrespect Rudy. Rudy slander will not be tolerated as an offensive player.
My point was
Rudy Gay,
My
2K legend,
point was
man.
to say Boogie had offensive help on his team in a lot of those years. The problem was defensively, he was really bad. He was a liability. He was bad.
But he wasn't the only
slow-footed, not a shot blocker like that. Not really like a great shot blocker.
Yeah, like, but look at the defense around him too. The defense around him was trash too, though.
You said what?
The defense around him was trash too, though. So that counts.
No, I get that, but if Boogie was at least decent defensively, we would have saw it. He was not good at all. He was bad.
Well, I'm not gonna lie.
Even when he went to New Orleans, I'll even go there. Even when he went to New Orleans, when he had like Anthony Davis in his front court, he was still really bad.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. He was good towards the defense. In Sacramento, he was really bad.
Well, he was good.
I tried to warn you, but you don't fucking listen. You don't listen, Mustard. I tried to tell you.
He was holding
Hold on.
Jalen, when Boogie got hurt, they got way better because AD was at the 5.
Lying on Boogie's name with his defense.
Okay. Guys. We need to bring this back to the purpose of the conversation. You're losing it, okay? Here was the point, okay? It absolutely impacts Anthony Davis, Ox, and here's why. I want you to listen to why. Because you're directly comparing the rosters. We're not saying imaginary. Just, Ox, hang on, please, right? If you're talking about putting
I know what I'm saying. You can't tell me what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything about Anthony Davis.
I'm not telling you anything about what you're saying. I'm telling you what the conversation is, because this is what the conversation is. You're talking about replacing Anthony Davis in place for DeMarcus Cousins on that same exact roster. That's what we're talking about. And that team was a roster that was a defensive build with Anthony Davis' versatility and the bigs, right? Now, Jalen, a while ago, said some blasphemous shit saying that the perimeter defense was comparable, and that's why it can maybe be okay. Nowhere near close to Anthony Davis. That is the problem. When you're subbing Boogie in.
Reasoning. That's Jalen's reasoning. That's not my reasoning. I agree.
I'm not saying that's your reasoning. I'm not saying that's your reasoning.
I agree with Jalen, but maybe I agree with them for different reasons. I don't think Boogie Cousins is anywhere comparable to the defensive player that Anthony Davis is. I would never make that statement.
I don't think it's.
I would never make that
statement.
Yes,
you did. You literally no.
It's closer than you guys thought. No one said. I know Anthony Davis is an all-time.
Jalen, you literally said the perimeter defense was comparable. I have you on tape, bro. Don't do this. I have you on tape.
It's closer than you guys were acting like it's a big.
It's not close. It's not close.
It's a big gap. It's a big gap.
It's a big gap.
Jalen, do you know that in that playoff run? Jalen, do you know in that playoff run?
How is he a mobile big on defense
in that playoff run when they faced the Heat?
He doesn't have
Jalen, when they faced the Heat in the finals, Anthony Davis did the best one-on-one job on Jimmy Butler. He did the best one-on-one job on Jimmy Butler in that finals. DeMarcus Cousins couldn't even on his best day, on Jimmy's worst day,
hold on.
couldn't stand in front of Jimmy Butler.
KCP did a good job on Jimmy. LeBron did a good job on Jimmy.
Okay, Mustard.
If AD had to do it, then Boogie would have had to do it.
All right, bro. Stop yelling and let's talk about this. Stop yelling and let's talk about this. What I'm saying is, yes, Anthony Davis did a hell of a job on Jimmy Butler. I was shocked to see him moving his feet like that out on the perimeter. I didn't know he could do it like that. But that's not the only way to win. Like if DeMarcus is there and he's not locking Jimmy Butler, they can still win. There's other ways to win.
How will they win? How? Because Oz, you keep saying it. Look,
is this really that confusing?
He's worse at everything.
Talent is not his talent.
Is this really that confusing?
We'll play different.
He's worse at everything. How do they win?
He's worse at everything.
He's worse at everything.
Hold on. It's different if you sign Cousins. But hold on. It's different if you sign Cousins and then build a team around Cousins. That's a different way. You're literally doing a one-of-one replacement. So you saying, we're gonna do a different way? It's not that simple because the team was really built around AD defense.
Can you imagine Boogie was there when they faced the Nuggets? Could you imagine that? Come on,
Mustard. You didn't lie though. Shout out to my boy Game. When did Anthony Davis guard Jimmy Butler 1-on-1 over the extended period of time? Because KCP.
That's okay. Let him stay muted.
You muted.
Let him stay muted.
I don't know if you know you're muted.
KCP was guarding Jimmy.
Don't worry about it.
LeBron James was guarding Jimmy.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Gifted, you muted.
He might be doing something else. He might be streaming something else. He might be talking about something else.
He's doing it on purpose, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, he might be on like he might be on like an IG live.
When you're doing a simple one-on-one replacement, isn't that simple? Or win a different way. They were literally built around AD, so it's not the kid is win another way.
Basketball literally is that simple though.
It really isn't though. It really is not though.
We gotta agree. We just gotta agree.
It's a hypothetical. It's a hypothetical.
It's almost like I said, we shouldn't talk about this problem.
Y'all gotta be playing 2K or something, bro. Like you can't like these are.
You playing 2K. Oh, this trade the player. Good.
I think that's
yes, because you can switch out players and you can play a different style of basketball. They don't have to play one way to win.
I get what Bob's saying. I get what Ox is saying. I understand what he's saying.
So what style would they be playing with Boogie and LeBron? What would that be?
Well, I'm not the coach. I don't know exactly what to do. I'm just saying there's other ways to do it.
Yeah, I knew he was going to say that. I knew that Trae was coming. I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah.
I don't claim to be a basketball guru, but I do understand that there's different styles of basketball. You know what I'm saying?
I really need them to explain how Boogie makes their team better.
Well,
that's why I want to know.
DeMarcus Cousins is a better 3-point shooter. DeMarcus Cousins is a better 3-point shooter than Anthony.
Not in the bubble.
In that bubble, he wasn't.
Not in the bubble.
Maybe DeMarcus would have improved just as much as AD.
That's why it's a hypothetical. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's a hypothetical, bro.
Right.
That's why it's a hypothetical.
Let's even give him 3-point shooting. Let's give him
the better 3-point shooter.
We'll give it to you.
Let's give it to him. Let's give it to him.
Let's give it to him. Let's give it to
him. I'm talking about what aspect, yeah.
Okay, so the other aspects.
What else? What else?
3-point shooting.
Okay, is he just probably? Honestly, I think he's a better passer than Anthony Davis.
But you got
LeBron machine too. So guys like KCP, guys like Danny Green.
Also more turnovers.
More
turnovers than assists.
Yes, more turnovers, but more playmaking.
No, it's more turnovers. It's more turnovers.
And I think more playmaking. More
playmaking when you're turning
over. Hold on.
I think
Pass the 3-point shooting. Pass the 3-point shooting.
Those will probably be the two big things. Defensively, obviously, they're not comparable. We know that. But honestly, that Lakers team, they still had KCP, Danny Green, White.
Don't get sidetracked. No. Stop. Guys, no, stop. Listen. Y'all are bailing Jalen out. Jalen, keep saying what he's better. Stop. Omo, be quiet, bro. Listen, Jalen, I need you to keep saying what he's better at. Keep going.
I'm stopping at 2.
Everything.
No. Why are you stopping at 2? Keep going. Keep going.
Hold on. Better mid-range shooter.
Oh, fuck out of here.
Bubble?
Fuck out of here. That's not true. See? That's why you want to stop it too. That's why you want to stop it too.
You guys are using the bubble anomaly of
that's what we did.
Okay, that's fine. But what if I want to inflate DeMarcus Cousins stats as a hypothetical in the bubble too?
That's why I said this point is this is a crazy argument.
We can look at what they shot for their career. We can do that right now. That's fine.
No,
yeah, but the bubble was an anomaly for you say in the bubble, but the bubble was an anomaly for Anthony Davis. You feel me?
That's true too.
I said that DeMarcus is literally better at everything on the offensive end of the floor.
Talk about it.
Like literally every single aspect. I'm trying to every single aspect of the offensive side of the floor, DeMarcus was better than AD.
So Ox, tell me how he's better.
Everything he was better.
Okay, I hear you, buddy. But
just
tell me how is he better when he's inefficient? He's a turnover machine. He's just getting a bunch of touches on a bad team. Look at the situations you're even comparing. A bad team.
Wait, I thought they had three 20-point scorers. I thought Rudy
and he's still inefficient. And he's still a turnover machine.
To all that?
That's the point, though. He's not an efficient player, even when he has the pieces around. Even if you say it's not the most ideal.
You did double talk right there, little mustard, a little bit, bro.
What?
You did double talk. You said he's being efficient and getting touches on a bad offensive team. Earlier, you said they were a good offensive team with good pieces.
I'm talking about a bad team that's not winning at all. A bad team. He's inefficient on a losing team. He's inefficient on a losing team, taking up all these touches, and on top of that, like he's turnover prone. How is that? How can you compare that to somebody? And also, you're getting Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is a better screener. Anthony Davis is a better roller, a better lob threat, better play finisher, better mid-range shooter.
Okay, better lob threat. I'll give you that. I'll give you a better lob threat. That's it. Better locker.
I'm not gonna lie.
Who's a better post player, Mustard?
I just don't understand the value.
Who's a better post player?
Oh, that doesn't matter.
Boogie, the better low post player.
Okay, y'all saying nothing. Boogie is a better post player for sure.
Okay.
Real quick, I want to ask
I don't think that he's good enough.
Jalen, real quick, I want to ask Tyson. I want to ask Tyson something. Okay, Tyson. Here's my thing with this, right? The point of this conversation is we're trying to find out what team would be better that 2020 roster if you swap out these guys.
Oh no, I agree with y'all on that. I agree. You ain't got to talk to me on that, brother. I agree with y'all.
Right. But my point in saying that is if we're talking about what would make that team better, we have to speak to what maximized that team. What maximized that team was a defensive build
100%,
because of their lack of offensive talent. So you adding in DeMarcus Cousins does not make them better than it was with Anthony Davis. You can play a different style all you want. You're not going to be better than that
another
team.
thing. Gifted also, you brought up Jalen. You brought up the other pieces around them. As great as their point of attack was, you still need somebody back there. You can have the greatest point of attack if you have a bad defensive rim protector. It's not going to matter. For case in point, they had that Rockets team. When they got rid of Clint Capella, their defense plummeted to a certain degree.
Mustard, they had Dwight and JaVale. You can't ignore that.
You can't
just talk over that, Mustard. I know you hear me. They had Dwight and JaVale. You can't talk over that.
Okay, and I'm telling you right now, both of those guys would foul out in one half. They are
exactly.
not.
They were only good when 80 was resting to give.
So they weren't there to save AD.
They can even have those two big lineups.
There to save AD.
The reason they can even have those two big lineups was because of Anthony Davis on the court.
So what you're saying is look. So what you're saying is in the Western Conference Finals against the Nuggets, Dwight didn't have 3 very big games in that.
And that's fine if you think. I agree.
That's not what I think. It's what happened.
No, Ox, I agree. I just said I agree, but I'm sorry. I'm not going to value 3 games over the rest of the playoffs where he didn't play. I'm not going to do that.
He didn't play?
Anthony Davis, when he played on the court, he's the only big that gave them the versatility of not fouling out, going up straight as a rim protector,
and playing small ball with LeBron James.
He gave them
that's the biggest part. He could switch everything. That was the biggest one.
He's what made that team have a strong lineup with LeBron and Anthony Davis. Yes.
Switch out some guards. Y'all.
Bro, it's fine.
If you're trying to say something, you can mute us.
There's no guards in the NBA he can switch on.
Oh yeah, my bad. You go ahead.
I see you was trying to get something off.
Could you imagine him facing the Blazers?
You can click on these mics and not mute us.
Yeah, it's like disrespectful to do that, but we have to cut. We have this other stream going on in a bit, like FYF against PC, right? You're on that also, Ox.
Yeah. Like I actually got to run here in a couple seconds too.
Okay. So we gotta cut. Thank you for tuning in. I had other stuff to talk about. I'm getting blamed for that, for not talking about it, but my first time. I don't know if it's the last one, but hope you had fun. Thank you for tuning in. And thanks everybody. Also, I missed a lot of chats. I'm sorry, I did this.
You read all the Superchats, I think, so that's good.
Yeah, I read them all. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There was the last question for you, but like we don't have time for Mustard, but we don't have time to develop on that one right now. Okay. So thank you for tuning in. Peace. Have a nice Sunday.
Salute everybody.
Y'all don't drink and drive.
People.
Y'all are crazy.